Your favorite team is the Tampa Bay.
No.
Right?
I am not a bandwagoner. I wish Tom Brady all the luck. But I'm a Patriots fan, and I accept that the next few years we're going to be like the fucking Cowboys. I get it. But, hey, we still have the greatest coach ever, and that's all that fucking matters. But, no, if I was a fan of the Ravens, obviously we live in
Until fucking
Baltimore.
Will Belichick shows up in Tampa.
When Will Belichick shows up in Tampa, I'm jumping ship. I'm going to be honest.
Your description of your new job just made it sound like that's what you do.
Sex is easy, bro. Sex is dumb easy. You just bend over and take.
COVID hasn't got you down yet?
I couldn't give a fuck about COVID. I drink.
It doesn't have you down yet? It doesn't give you anxiety? What?
Look, man.
What?
I'll tell you what, man. Like the second I don't have to, and when I say have to, I mean in order for me to get into an establishment, I have to wear a mask.
You have to wear everywhere you go.
As soon as I don't see those signs anymore, I'm ripping the fucking thing off.
Me too.
I'm sorry. Call it what it is. Comment whatever. Fuck you. You're an idiot. Like, you're just a fucking idiot. You think you gotta? Especially like the people that wear them either when they're just walking outside in the fucking like nature, or they're in their own cars with their windows rolled up.
Right.
Are you gonna give yourself fucking coronavirus?
But don't you think that that's
you're an
something with
idiot.
them, like helping them cope with all this news that they're seeing and all this stuff?
I don't care what they got to cope with. Get on a boat and go somewhere. Like, go get to your.
But
own
where are
little
they going to
island.
go?
Their own little COVID.
Quarantine themselves away
their
from
own little
the population.
paranoid COVID.
So are you in the
island.
sense of like, so do you not want to spread it, or are you just annoyed by the people who are taking it too
I'm
seriously?
not 100% sure that there's even anything to spread. Just being honest.
You might get us kicked off YouTube talking like that.
So
I'm
we
going to
should
post
switch
it though.
the fucking
I'm going to
topic.
post it. I'm going to post it though.
We probably will get kicked off because why? Why would we get kicked off? Because
they kick people off
Because that's
talking-
not the narrative. Fuck off. I hate it. And then there's people, you're going to trigger my anxiety. You're going to trigger my trigger, bitch. Like,
Oh, Jimmy jumped on it. Well, you know.
other than dealing with these, I'm sorry.
Have you had anyone?
Morons,
Have you had anybody like tell you to put your mask on when you're like walking up? Do you put your mask on in the car and then walk up, or do you like
I do it.
wait until you get there and then you put it on?
I do it as soon as I enter the fucking
Facility
like, the
where
facility.
if
Well,
they
I
can
have
kick
to
you
do
out,
it.
I'm gonna where you have to do
Like
it.
I'll swing the door open. It's still hanging off one ear.
Right.
Because I'll put it on one ear and I'll swing the door open before I walk in. I'll put the fucking.
But where do you think?
gimmick on.
Because where do you think there should be a line? Because
Because
obviously,
like, I'm not gonna challenge. I'm not gonna be that guy. That's like, I'm gonna test it and not wear it until somebody says something.
Right.
I'm not gonna be that guy.
But you're
right?
being-
I'll do it because I know that those are the rules, right?
Right.
I'll do it.
right. But you're at least being reasonable. You're meeting them in the middle with it. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
just-
I don't like it.
The second Larry Hogan's fat ass comes out there and goes, you don't have to wear it anymore. Fuck, I'm burning it.
Right.
Like,
right.
I have no reason to wear it.
Right. Right.
As soon as it's not required by law, because you're still going to have those people that are going to be like, well, no, I wouldn't. It's still not safe. You still got to wear a mask. Eat my shit.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on that. I don't know about you, but that's where I'm at. That's just my opinion.
I guess they're like, I'm gonna go around this fucking guy. So he starts going around me, hits my fucking mirror, and I'm like, well, he's gonna stop. I had never been more wrong in my fucking life.
He didn't stop.
He stop. It was almost as if he was like, fuck that nigga's mirror. And he just kept going. And I'm like, hold up. But there's cars up there. He can't get through those cars. Again, I've never been more wrong in my fucking life. I was like, how these fucking cars get between all those cars? And I was like, you're not going to stop? Well, I'm going to go, nigga. So I started chasing the motherfucker in my car. And like, I guess he realizes I'm fucking following him. And he's just like, he doesn't want to be caught. So he's fucking dipping through fucking streets. And I'm like, I'm following him. And I almost crashed at one point, hitting this really tight turn. But we get to, Hanover Street.
Bob was seeing red.
Before the bridge. Yes,
He took your mirror and he kept going.
We're gonna get to that. But yes, I am blood is all I see. I want this person dead. Like, so we're driving, and I'm like, I can't fucking get his fucking tag or whatever. Like, I'm trying to take a picture of it. I'm trying to drive at like probably 80 miles an hour on a fucking 25 mile an hour street. So I'm like, I'm about to do some GTA shit. So his car's here on the right. I pull it to the left of it. I fucking tap his shit. I try to tap his shit. His back to like get it up.
GTA.
I tried to do this shit, but I guess he was used to that GTA shit, and he stopped just before I hit him. So my shit was like skirt, and my shit hit the guardrail like boom, and my shit I was like fuck, and they just drove off, and I was like motherfucker. So I get out the car.
He beat him.
I get out the car and I'm like, ain't this some shit? And like I see like fluid and shit. I see my car crumpled into the guardrail. At this time I don't know what.
Literally
but
crumpled.
I'm like, let me get the fuck out of the car because I see the fluid. Call the cops. Cops eventually show up. Didn't take them too long because the police station's right down the street. But yeah, we're going through all this shit. Hold on, we're gonna get to that shit. We're going through all this shit. And I'm like, I wasn't drinking. Of course I didn't tell him everything that just fucking happened.
Right.
I was like, yeah, somebody hit me. And whatever. I didn't tell him everything.
You were officer. You were watching police. You saw the police do that on cops. Here's Bob Hollywood's going to attempt the pit maneuver.
He saw that shit on cops too. He was like, not today, nigga.
That guy was smart enough.
That's brilliant, man.
So we're sitting there talking
All you
to
had to do was hit your. I didn't know that.
Apparently.
I want to know
Apparently.
that. I would have tried to do the
Let me
same
see the
thing.
cops pulling the pit maneuver, bitch.
So now you know. He actually helped you out.
But while we're there, while I'm talking to the officer, this car comes up, like a different car, and like these people get out the car, and I'm at my car. The officer's at his car is like a few. I can't hear what they're saying necessarily, and then they get in their car and they leave, and the officer's like, "You sure you weren't drinking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was working all night. Of course I wasn't drinking." And he's like, "Well, they just told me such and such," and I was like, "I don't know who the fuck they were. Like, nobody was here, so I'm assuming that was the niggas that pulled that reverse pit maneuver, hopped in a different car, and they were like, yeah, this nigga was wildin', like,
Or maybe it's somebody that saw him.
Well, if you had seen the whole thing,
So
the
they-
officer probably would have said something completely different.
So
Like,
they-
oh, you want to be a cop, nigga? Well, you're going to jail today.
I trust her. That's the biggest part. That's the biggest part of friendship. Trust.
It's like you say my balls were too big like the first year, but in the end, your pussy was too fat in the second year.
Oh my God!
Hold up.
Oh
Hold
my
up.
God!
Whilst I do not have a pussy, that sounds like a compliment. Like, who doesn't like a fat pussy? Like, I don't want it to be, oh, your pussy. If she would have said your pussy was too thin, I'd have been like, fuck, man, you fucking cutting deep. I will say it. Yes, she told the truth. It was probably 15 fucking minutes, but it's because she would give me a shot, and I'm thinking that she's taking a shot too. Right. And it was like maybe 3 shots later that she's like, I don't really want this shot. Why don't you have my shot too? That she poured, mind you. And I'm like, well, why is your shot is halfway and mine's full? And she's like, I just changed my mind on this one. So I take the shots, and I'm like, okay, it's 2 shots. I'm not going to let them get wasted. But then she's like, do you want another one? And I think at that point, I was too far gone to be like, no, I don't want any more. Please, no more, sir. I was like, yeah, give me another shot. And she just kept giving them to me. So you're talking about that first year you woke up in the field? That second year, I'm out in the fucking field. I don't even know how I got there. I do not remember leaving out that house.
I was there for you. I watched you. I took care of you. You just was flopping around, and I couldn't hold you.
He was flopping around. I couldn't.
I did everything.
You're a
I
big
could.
boy, Bob.
No,
You're a
but
big boy.
No. Before you can say anything else, I'm done. I'm not gonna do this with you. No.
Oh, Dreamer, it's all right. Dreamer. Dreamer, though. Are you
Let her
serious?
leave. Let her leave.
Is she serious?
This pussy was too fat and juicy for her. Let her leave.
Damn.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if she...
Dreamer.
Fuck her. Let her leave.
No, that's ridiculous.
In
we
the
cannot
flesh.
reschedule. All the microphones are a go. I
I'm-
can hear music, but not your voice. How about now? I think we can. I think everybody can hear us now, and we're ready to rock and roll.
I'm trying to see if you made a good choice or not. You wanted me to tell you if your new cocktail of choice for the show
Brand new, baby.
was a
brand
good
new.
was a good choice, and
If it's
Damn
healthy
it.
or not.
the only here
God
it is. Here it is.
Damn it, I
Okay.
can't even charge my phone, man.
Yeah, you
This
can.
place-
Hold on, I'll help you.
So you're not going to want to hear this. So
Oh no, it's bad news. Thanks, Ralph. It should be over there.
it may be worse than the other stuff.
Oh, really? What you got?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I don't
So
give a shit.
one can. Well, you wanted me to look it up.
Yeah, we'll tell. What?
No,
I
it's-
want you to look it up and then not tell.
Well, you know, because it might you might be bad. You might be upset. You might not want to drink it now. You might not want to drink it
Oh,
now.
why are y'all yelling at each other? Hold up, man. We're supposed to be a family.
Okay.
But can I say something real quick?
Rat's ass.
Can I say
You,
something?
you do care a little bit.
Can I
Because
say-
Yeah, but not like that. I'm not sensitive like that.
Can I say something? Can I just say something?
Sure.
Can I say something?
yes, what?
I think wouldn't he know if it's good or not once he drank it?
That's not the kind of
No,
good we're
he's not
talking about.
that. He's talking about
Like healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
health
no,
wise.
Bro, I
It's
just
supposed to be
saw
like
it,
a White
bro.
Claw.
You have cancer
Well, that's fine too.
from that one sip.
It's about time.
Who doesn't?
Better now than later.
It's either you have corona or you have cancer. That's
One of the two,
America.
and You're done anyway.
That's
either way.
America.
So it's 25 grams of sugar, 296 calories, 26 carb, and that's it.
Already we have, and I'm going to take.
Can I get a pop guard? Because
I'm
my
going
shit
to,
is.
You
feel
can
like-
just trade with him.
I feel like I've been bamboozled. Because I've always. Watch me get it. Watch me get it all.
So Laura said that the lighting is better. She's impressed. So at least there's something positive that's going on through here. At least we got something.
I mean, I know I never have a pop guard, but my shit was twirling and whirling. Twirling and whirling,
You guys can
swirling
talk
and
amongst
hurling.
yourselves.
Oh,
just
thank you,
We're just
teacher.
waiting for everybody
Thank
to-
you, teacher.
Everybody to be okay and ready to rock and roll.
Because I don't know what was wrong with his. I had this
Take this,
fucking.
I'll take that. You take this, and then you'll just continue.
This place is never this like.
And you think that you're going to have any more luck with that, Ron? You're going to throw the
doesn't
fucking
matter.
thing across the
Let's
goddamn.
talk.
Well, we're talking. What are you doing?
Sharing the podcast.
All right. Well,
My
sure.
bad. I won't do it if it's a problem.
I'm asking you. What are you doing? What's up?
Problem? Is it a problem?
I'm chilling like a true villain.
All right. Well, don't
Like
you
a
guys
true
got some
villain.
fucking topics or something you want to talk about?
Yeah, we got some hot
He said that he's got some
topics.
fire. I know
I got
Bob's
some
always coming with the
fire.
fire, though. Always, 100%.
Well, give
So
it
I
to
was
me.
thinking, like, somebody shared a post. I'm in a horror movie group, and somebody shared a post, and it had like black people that survived in horror movies. It had like LL Cool J and Ice Cube, and fucking Brandy, and
Brandy.
first I thought
I
like,
forgot all about Brandy.
I don't know how you can forget about Brandy, but first I thought you got to be a musician, like that works for you, because like, yeah, it had like Jada Pinkett Smith. Either she had a music career. But like then people started listening to it, and I was like, well, where's Busta Rhymes? Because like Busta Rhymes beat the bricks off of Michael Myers, and what was
Did he?
that?
Which movie?
Resurrection, I think. And also I was like, well, where's Rod Digger? Because she was in 13 Ghosts, and then I was thinking, Rod Digger is probably an accomplished rapper, but all I know her from is 13 Ghosts. Like I know she's a rapper. I've never heard her rap. I just know she's in 13 Ghosts. I
What's
want to.
13 Ghosts. I never seen 13
Oh,
Ghosts.
you never seen 13 Ghosts, bro? Well, hold on.
Is it older?
It's from like the early 2000s. It's a remake of an older horror movie from like the 50s, I think, that starred Vincent Price. But it's these people, they get invited to a house. They inherited it, and they go in the house, and it's inhabited by ghosts. And the person who gave them the house, the main character's brother, knows that, and he's using them as a sacrifice to get rid of the ghost, and then whatever. They obviously work through it. The protagonists work through it. But Rod Digger's one of the protagonists. She's a rapper. And in the movie, she plays like the family's, like there's a daughter who doesn't need a fucking nanny. And then there's a son who probably doesn't need a nanny, but she's their housekeeper / nanny or whatever. And to illustrate how much the daughter doesn't need a nanny, the daughter is played by I want to say Molly Shannon, whoever the chick from American Pie, the one that, not Molly Shannon. Shannon?
redhead lady?
No. You've seen American Pie.
Yes.
So you
A
know,
long time ago.
Jason,
It's been a
the
long
chick
time.
that Jason Bigg wants to bang, that has like the European accent, that he gets caught. Anyway, she's clearly an adult and she doesn't need a nanny,
Right.
but whatever. But I was thinking, I want to be like Rod Digger when I grow up. Like, I want to have a career, but then I want to be known for something else that's not even my career, even though I put effort into it.
But so many people know
Right.
you just
So
for
like
this
I
one
want
thing.
I want my career to be writing. I want to be like a successful writer, but then most people know me from SVR. And I'm like,
right.
I still did what I wanted to do,
Like, I was
even if
writing, right.
even if like y'all don't know about it. I think
still
I was
successful in
successful.
its own right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that I just thought that was funny. It's like, yeah, I've never heard this woman rap. She might be. I think she's like in the closing credits that one of her songs is playing. But like, yeah, she's in the movie,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure she's in other movies. But I don't even know. I haven't even seen her in other movies. I just know she's in 13 Ghosts.
Right.
And I just thought that was fucking funny.
What's 13 Ghosts though?
It's a horror movie.
It's just a horror movie.
It's just a horror
like
movie.
A ghost movie.
Well, it's got really cool effects. Like, it's got Matthew Lillard from Scream and Scooby-Doo fame. If you don't know who Matthew Lillard is, then well, next time I see your mother, I'm going to have a stern talk with her. Because you've seen Scream. He's one of the killers from the first Scream.
Okay.
You know what Scream
There's
is,
two
right?
of the dudes that like,
Yes, they're
stab
working
each other,
together.
right? Yeah.
He's the one that gets stabbed, and he's like, I'm feeling a little woozy. Man. Like, he's the one who got fucked over in that exchange. Like, when he went to go stab the other one was like, well, oh, nigga, you're not stabbing me. Oh, hold up. But,
I forgot about that part.
so he's in it. But basically in the movie, they wear these glasses, and they can see the ghosts. And, like, without them, they can't see the ghosts. Obviously, you can see them.
Right.
But the original 13 Ghosts was, like, one of the first 3D movies. Or so they gave the glasses to the audience, and then you could see the ghosts. And I don't bang with black and white movies, especially horror black and white movies. Like, it's already scary to me because it's black and white,
Right,
if
right.
that makes
It's
sense.
already creepy.
So I don't know if I'll ever see the original. It stars Vincent Price, and he's a creepy dude.
I don't know. The older movies are just creepier to me anyway. Even whenever you go back to like 70s horrors and 80s horrors.
You think
they're
so?
more creepy to me. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. They have like a feel to it. And maybe it's like all of the special effects that they did because they like manually did their special effects and it wasn't like necessarily computer generated.
Right.
We're so used to computer generated stuff that kind of gets like you can separate it more.
But there are some horror movies where I feel like
Shannon Elizabeth.
Shannon Elizabeth.
There you
There's
go.
somebody in the
Thank you,
comments
Stephanie.
tell us.
Yep,
Thank you.
Stephanie said that.
Thank you,
Stephanie.
Stephanie. You're the man now,
Shannon
dog.
Elizabeth.
But yeah. So I don't mind. I don't mind older movies. I don't mind.
And Laura Spangler said it as well.
The
That,
computer
Shannon
generated-
is the, chick from American Pie.
My thing about newer movies in general, not just horror movies, is they try to give you these CGI effects, which can be cool. Sometimes they look cheesy, but it is what it is.
Right.
But I feel like they try to overcompensate. Instead of giving you a decent story or direction or something, they just try to give you CGI, like a Michael Bay movie. Like, they can be entertaining,
Right.
but it's usually just a lot of explosions and gunfire, and it's like there's
It's
no
like
real
a,
substance.
like a roller coaster ride.
Right, and that's cool if you just want a blockbuster, or if you're a studio that you want to bank on a property like Transformers or Ninja Turtles or
Right,
something
right, right,
that make
right.
your money,
And you know they're going to bring it. Right.
but it's not actually a good film.
Right. Right.
But some people don't want good films. Some people just want to be entertained. I mean, I'm guilty myself. There are times I've watched a movie that is probably like unquestionably bad, but it entertained me, so I don't
you
complain.
enjoyed it.
Right.
What's a movie that was objectively bad? Like most people would say it's bad, but you're entertained by it.
I got 2 whole series for you. The Resident Evil movies.
I've never seen any of those.
They're horrible, and they get worse with time. But actually,
They don't age well?
It's not even that they don't age well; it's they were never good to begin with.
Damn.
But
Damn.
the last one, the very last one, was an improvement over the one before that. The one before that was the worst one, but literally they go downhill. But it's like, I love them. If they were like Resident Evil 9, or I don't remember what, but it's a lot of them.
Right.
Well, if they were like the next one's coming out tomorrow, I'm going to the theaters and see it. I don't give a fuck if it's a guaranteed
Because
you're going to
just
get
into
Corona. I'm going to be in that bitch. Watching that shitty movie, getting a disease. Because it's just they
true, it's
they
Corona.
speak to me, bro. They're just Resident Evil is my favorite video game series, even though I don't really play video games as much now. But those movies just are. It's just pure cheese fest, man. Like you never know what actors are going to be in them, and like
They're cheesy though. I always like seen the advertisements, and I thought that they were supposed to be like real badass ass kicker movies. Or is it like so like action hero cheesy?
Well, the main character is Mila Jovovich, and she's in all of them, and she evolves throughout the series. But she's an ass kicker. She is a real ass kicker, and But I just feel like it's just the one person has had control of the franchise for so long that they're not really pushing their boundaries. It's her and her husband's the writer director for most of them.
Right.
So I feel like they're just not even pushing
just trying to make
but
it
it's
work.
it's still so fucking good to me, man. Like I know it's pure
Does
trash.
it still make money though? Do
Yes,
people-
that's why they keep making them, bro. They
Oh,
make
yeah. They
all
have
the
to.
money, bro. It's like I know I've seen a couple of them in theaters more than once, and like so they're making their money, and I don't know, it's just so good. And my other one, and this is another one. It started off great, just went downhill, plummeted. The Terminator movies, bro. Like the first 2 Terminator movies,
They're
gold.
amazing. Yeah,
Like it's
I've
really
seen those now.
you can set up a debate team about which movie is better out of the first and the first and the second one, and it's like, I'm not even sure we have a clear winner. Those are 2 fucking good films. Like I used to always think the second one was better, but the first one has these elements that
I gotta
make
go
it.
back and watch the first one then.
I've seen the first one more recently, but I've always been a fan of the first 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
The third one's bad,
It's okay,
but it's still entertaining.
I like right. It was okay.
But
It
it's just
wasn't like amazing like the first 2.
See, the first 2 I think are more original, and whereas everyone after that is a little
It's kinda
derivative.
working
It's
off of-
like
yeah,
right, except for
yeah.
maybe the fourth one when they're in the future, but it's still not that good.
Have you seen the most recent one?
No, I
That
haven't.
people were complaining about. I haven't seen
I
it.
was going to see it, but I was going to watch it with someone, and it just hasn't happened. And so I don't know when I'll see it or if I'll see it, but I'll see it. I gotta see it. But they just go downhill. They just go off the rails. Like they're not good anymore. And I feel like I don't know if they're even trying. I feel like
They know people are gonna
Let's
come.
put it this way. I feel like Resident Evil's not good because it was never good, and it's just like pulpy, and it's not meant to be good.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to bring you an entertaining product. And I think like Terminator's not good because they don't try anymore, or they try too hard. Like
And if they're trying too hard,
you're
then
just
they're
trying
adding
too
much
hard.
shit then.
Right, like you're just. It's been the last one's a reboot. I know that.
Yeah,
which I'm
yeah.
fine with.
Because they
you're
brought
deal-
back John Connor
Right.
but they told like a different story with
Well,
it, right?
his mother.
Oh, his
So,
mother. Right,
yeah.
right.
But like, I'm fine. You're dealing with time in Terminator movies. It's
Yeah.
like, dude sent your father back in time before you were conceived, but you're obviously get conceived. That sort of shit.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it not making 100% sense, but I just feel like some of them are dumb, but I still love them.
But you still love
Like
him.
I would fight somebody in the streets if they talked bad about it.
About
Like
the
I
Terminator
would,
movies?
I would pull out my cutlass and say a duel if they fucking talk shit about it. That's how strongly I feel.
One of those old school duels too.
Yes, where.
So those are the 2 that you would say are not good movies, not good series, even though Terminator had the first 2.
Yes.
But they're entertaining.
they're entertaining, and I would watch them. I would keep watching them.
I feel the same way about the Evil Dead trilogy.
Okay.
Because I like the first Evil Dead because it seemed like way more like a horror. But then once you would go head into Evil Dead 2,
You bring up the Evil Dead, and I'm gonna let you finish your point. Resident Evil's kind of like that. So like you got Evil Dead, straight up horror. They're in a
Right.
cabin.
Right.
Freaky shit's
Scary
going
shit,
on.
right.
It looks grittier. 'cause
Right.
Obviously, it's like early '80s or
Right.
something. Then you get Evil Dead 2, which blends some shit. You get some comedy in it.
It's way more comedy in it now.
And then you get
yeah.
Army of Darkness is just like
Which is an action
fucking
comedy.
schlocky,
Right.
cheesy, still great.
Still
it's
great.
just that you can see how the movies have changed.
They changed so much.
The first few Resident Evils are like that. The first one tries its best to be horror, and it has some scary moments, even if they're just jump scares, because it's dealing with zombies. I don't know if you know that about Resident Evil. It's a zombie, franchise.
kind of zombie
so like
movie.
they're
It's a video game. It's based
it's
off a
trying
video
to be
game, right?
scary, but then the second one is like more action.
Yeah,
and then the third
yeah.
one is just like all the action. And then it's just like
It's not scary.
you're
it's
not
an action
scared.
movie.
You after the first one, if you're scared of Resident Evil, you're just scared of shit.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like you're just literally just scared of
Right.
things. Like, oh, I can't watch fucking I don't know anything. I can't watch fucking Home Alone. Oh,
it's too much.
It's just
I
too
can't
much.
stand being
The
alone. Home
tarantula
Alone.
in that movie. Oh my god. Like, cause there's those people that are just afraid of shit.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's that's the only way you'd be afraid of the Resident Evil movies after the first one.
That makes sense. That makes sense. How are you doing, Jimbo?
I'm good.
Did you have a good day, man?
I'm hanging in there.
What, how you just hanging in there? You had a good workout today, right?
I did.
Kept it moving. Got some good squats in. We did a live stream with the IG.
Yeah. No, the workout was fine. The workout was good. I just I don't really know much about the movies you guys are talking about, but I know like as far as like my like I don't know if you would call them. I don't know if you guys are just going with the series, but like I like all of the Underworld movies. I think Underworld's good. Contrary to what Bob's saying, I mean, I feel like it's all this shit's like subjective. Like one person can shit all over a movie, but then it could be someone else's like favorite movie of like all time.
Yep.
Like the Resident Evil movies, I'm not like a mega fan of them, but I like them. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I mean, there are some scenes like you could tell like as like I feel like the first movie they kind of went all out with, but then like as they go on, like the actors or actresses or whatever kind of. I don't know if they just kind of stopped trying that hard to find good ones or whatever the case is, because it was the same way with like Jeepers Creepers. That's like another one that I'm a fan of.
I remember the Jeepers Creepers. It started off with a scarecrow or something.
Yeah, it started. Right? Yeah, that's the creeper guy or whatever. It's like the monster or whatever.
Does he drive a Jeep?
But who?
Does he drive a Jeep?
The creeper.
Yeah.
Not a big white van.
I don't know.
I'm fucking with you because his name is Jeepers Creeper. Or does he only scare people in Jeeps?
But like Jonathan, what's his face?
Taylor Thomas?
No.
ATT's in it?
Jonathan Cho?
Oh.
Or whatever that guy's name is. He was in the first one. And then like the last two, it was like you didn't know anybody in those movies.
Right.
Like as far as like all the like leading roles or whatever, but like I still thought they were good. But shit like the Predator, like you guys are talking about Terminator, like shit like I've never really seen any. I mean I know I've seen Terminator, but I can't remember anything from it. Like I just know like Arnold's in it and it's machines and taking over the world or something.
You mentioned Terminator and Predator. Like it's not real, but there's like fan theories that Dutch from Predator is the design for the Terminator. Obviously, they're both played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, but obviously after I don't know, spoiler alert for a 30-something-year-old movie, at the end of Predator, Arnold survives. It's just him and the Hispanic lady. They survive. So it's like the fan theory is, all right, so they got him in the lab after that and were like, oh, you fought this alien. You are a supreme specimen. So we're going to model this Terminator after you, even though by the time you get Terminators that look like Arnold, it's not even in our time. It's in the future of now.
It's so far ahead.
But it's just still a fun little thing to think about. But it's not real.
Right.
It'd be awesome if it was.
It'd be badass if it was.
Hey, you were talking about black and white movies too. Like I'm a big fan of like some of the older. Obviously they are old. Like the black and white, like all the like Frankensteins, like Wolfman or Swamp Thing or whatever. I think all that stuff's really cool just because of like that's like the birth of like all that shit. And it's like if you could be like a kid back in those days when that was new, that'd like how creepy it would be, like
very creepy.
Dracula and stuff like that. I bought it was like a special edition. It was years ago, but it was like Dracula's like 70th anniversary like box. It wasn't a box set. It was only one disc, but it was like the like packaging was all fancy or whatever. I don't know, but it was really cool because it was just like so fucking old. I forget the original Dracula. I forget his name, but
Bela Lugosi,
something like that. I think so. But like that's just that kind of shit to me is just like really fucking cool. Like sometimes I'll go home and I'll just be in a mood to watch shit like that. Turn all the lights off and just fucking be in my room watching those old ass horror movies.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen any of them, but as a kid, they're just as ingrained in my head as Michael Myers. Well, I know Lon Chaney as the Wolfman and the Phantom of the Opera, but I've never seen the movies.
And then Nosferatu.
Well, yeah, that's even older, and that's not even related. But I'm thinking like the Universal movies, like those Frankensteins, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Swamp. That would be the Creature of the Black Lagoon. Like Werewolf Man. those are ingrained in my head, man. Even though I never saw them.
You don't like Frankenstein.
You
do
know him.
That's the Frankenstein that's terrifying. That Frankenstein is like up here. All right, listen. The things that scared young 10 and under Bob is Frankenstein.
Bob.
I don't know if the camera can see the left. Frankenstein and then Paul Bearer. Those two people or things are the things that scare me. And as you can see, Paul Bearer's pasty ass is a little bit above Frankenstein. Frightening. Yes, I did not like Frankenstein as a kid. I didn't like that version.
Paul
you
Bearer
ever-
creeped you out that much?
Yes, bro.
Did
He
you ever?
he creeped me out too.
Did you ever call your dad and
No, I
say
didn't.
that
No, I
Paul-
don't know
Paul
what you're
Bearer
talking about.
was in
Maybe we'll
in the
talk about
house?
the things that frightened us the most on the Halloween episode.
Wait a minute.
I feel like
Wait
it would
a minute,
be
wait a minute.
more entertaining
Hold on.
if you called him and said, "Dad, Paul Bearer's in the house right now."
Wait a
I
minute.
don't
You
think
did
he
that?
wants to. All right, so listen. It's no surprise that as a youth, I spent a lot more time at home than I did in school because I was known for whipping a mango's ass and getting suspended. So I had
You
to,
suspended from school?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
all this knowledge is self-educated, folks. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to go to school to be smart. You don't. But so I was maybe like 5th grade. Had to been I couldn't have been older than 10.
Right.
And I'm in the house. I'm watching whatever I'm watching on TV. Because all I did was watch cartoons and fucking Disney Channel, Bear in the Big Blue House, and Roly Poly Oly, all that good
Holy
shit.
poly oly. I haven't heard that in a long time.
But yeah, now Ron's gonna fucking see if it's on fucking Disney Plus. But then I just started freaking out. Like I don't know if I get paranoid now, but like I can control it because I can tell myself that shit's not real.
Right.
Like,
right.
no matter what my mind's telling me, I'm like, it's not fucking real. Calm down. And it works for me. It's not gonna work for everybody. Some people bug the fuck out, and that's cool. I was 10. I bugged the fuck out. I'm in the house, and all I'm thinking is, fucking Frankenstein's in this house, man. Frankenstein's in this fucking house, man.
You just couldn't let it go.
I could not let it go. I didn't see
Like out of
nothing.
all the houses he could go to, he went to
He's in
yours.
your house.
It's broad daylight, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
So you're freaked out in the middle of the day.
Yes.
That Frankenstein's in your house.
Frankenstein's in my fucking parents' house. I'm in my parents' room watching television because they had the good TV, and I just get this unshakable feeling, man. It's like I didn't hear nothing, I didn't see nothing, I didn't watch anything that fucking triggered this. My mind's just saying, "Hey, little mango, fucking Frankenstein's in this house with us right now. We gotta get the fuck out, fight or flight." So I'm like, "Nah, man, nah." Call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, I think Frankenstein's in this house."
You got. Wait a minute. You called your
I
dad.
called my dad because
Oh, no.
he's like 5 minutes away at his job.
He's at
man.
work.
So if he needs to come and put the fucking whip ass to Frankenstein, he can do it, right? So I call him like, "Hey, Frankenstein's in this house." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Frankenstein's in this house." You know how like in the movie when someone repeats something, like that's just a magical explanation.
Right.
If you say it twice, they gotta understand. No. He's like, and I'm like, "He's in this house. I gotta get out of this house."
I gotta
He's
get
like,
out of here.
"You better not leave that house." Because mind you, I'm supposed to be in school, even though I'm suspended. I can't be out in the streets. So I'm like, "I gotta get out of this house." He's like, "Nobody's in the house. Nothing's in the house. Stop freaking out." And I'm like, "All right, cool." Get off the phone with him, right? Probably not even 5 fucking minutes pass. And my brain's like, "Bro, Frankenstein's in this fucking house."
Did you look for him?
No, bro. So listen, I'm in my parents' house, bro. I'm upstairs. I gotta put my shoes on, leave out. I go out the back door. So all this time, if Frankenstein's in this fucking house, he could have been scooped my ass up, right?
He would've
Like I
got you
had to have
already.
walked past him at some point, right? So I call my father again. I'm like, "Man, I'm not going back in that house. Frankenstein's in that house."
That is the best.
So he comes,
shit
man.
ever.
He comes. This is, I guess, one time where I didn't get a beating for making him leave work, but it's not even like he checked the fucking house. He didn't even like, "Well, did you think somebody's breaking in?" Like, no one was breaking in. Fucking just Frankenstein's in this bitch, bro. Like, why would I make this shit up? Like, why won't you believe me? I felt like Andy from Child's Play. He's telling you this doll is trying to fucking kill him. And they're like, it's just the doll, Andy. He can't kill you.
But
That doll went on fucking killing spree.
But
Frankenstein could have been in that house, man.
So what would you have done if later that night you heard some shit coming from your parents' room, and it wasn't the usual noise that you're used to hearing coming out of there, but you go in and Frankenstein just murdered both of them?
oof.
All right, let me just clarify. Again, I've never seen the fucking
Frankenstein movie.
I can't think of who the actor is, but you know who I'm talking. I've never seen those old 1930s, 40s Universal movies. I don't even know what the fuck Frankenstein's doing. I just know I have the visual of that face that I think everyone thinks of when they think of Frankenstein.
He walks really slow, so
But
you would have had time to go.
I don't even know if Frankenstein was killing people. Frankenstein could have just been the
just
nicest
a
dude
dude,
ever, but he looked scary, so I'm associating that. So he might not even murdering people. But had I heard some noise coming from my parents' room and I went in there and Frankenstein was murking these motherfuckers, I'd have been like, I told you, fucking dad. And then I would have dipped off. Like, I would have ran to Larry's house because he lived around the corner. But like, I would have never went back to that house again.
But then,
Told you, fucking dad.
what if Larry wasn't home?
What if Frankenstein already got him?
And no. So he wasn't home, so you ran back towards your house, and Larry came outside of your parents, but he didn't have everything taken off, and he still had like.
So he was Frankenstein?
He was Frankenstein.
I'd whipped his ass like I used to do back in the day. Like it would have been. I mean, I would have at my father's funeral. I would have been like, I told you, fucking Frankenstein was in the house, even if it was a misconception.
I got that way with
The Lion King.
when I was when I was a kid and I watched the Thriller video.
Oh, I love that shit.
The werewolf at the beginning.
The very beginning.
That fucked me up.
Somebody, I saw a meme that was like,
And I thought he was. Go ahead.
you know, the SpongeBob meme was like, all right, I'm gonna head out. So they had like, as soon as this came on, they showed him turning into a werewolf, and they showed SpongeBob arm and head out. I'm like, you didn't even see the rest of the video. Like the werewolf isn't even as scary as the zombie, in my opinion.
See, I was fine with the zombie. It was that werewolf.
The
'Cause I used
zombie-
to be scared of in my head werewolves
It was just
were
real, and you
when
just
I was
hadn't
a
come
kid.
across one yet. Reasonable fear.
You know how you said Frankenstein was in your house? After watching that Thriller video, we had a recliner that was kind of like at like an angle in the living room. So there was there was space behind it against the wall. I was thoroughly convinced that werewolf was hiding behind that chair. Like he wasn't doing nothing; he was just hiding there.
Always.
Oh man, really, really young. Like I think before I was even a teenager.
Boris
like
Spangler said
6 or
Boris
10?
Karloff was the original
Yeah, Boris
Frankenstein.
Karloff.
I think
Karloff,
probably
okay.
like 7 or 8.
Karloff. I don't
Karloff.
fucking know.
Karloff. I don't know.
But see, like I love the way our minds think as young. Like even now we have
can't even
fears. Like
escape
people
that.
have fear.
Yeah.
Like you should have fear of something. It keeps you alive to a degree.
Right.
But like it's just when you're younger, you're obviously more impressionable and less rational. So it's like I said, I was afraid to think. I was afraid of Frankenstein as a kid. I don't give a fuck about him now. Like I still think black and white movies are creepy. I'm not opposed to watching them, but I do think they're inherently a little bit scarier just because of that.
What about Godzilla?
I loved Godzilla.
He's asking me because I'm afraid of Godzilla 2. But hold on, let me
Godzilla 2?
Hold up. Well, not 2 like the number, but like us also.
well, yeah.
But hold on, let me go because you mentioned I wanted to talk about the Thriller part, the Thriller video real quick. What was scary for me is not the zombies dancing in the street, not them when they're coming out of the fucking grave and the first off that
Because
was
they're not so bad when they're
that
dead.
was a really ill-placed grave. It was just right there on the side of a fucking street. Like it didn't have no gates. It's just unless somebody just popped some people and buried them right there.
Yep.
But like they're coming out of the sewer, that wasn't scary. Like the makeup. Great, go prove Ron's point. Fucking practical effects, and that was directed by John Landis, who was
Yeah.
a big horror director. But at the very end, when she runs to the house, Shorty runs to the house, and then they're encroaching on her, and then Michael Jackson wakes her up, and he's like, oh, it was just a dream. She's like, oh, and then he turns around into that camera, and I was like, that was the only scary part, but like scary in a good way. Like I looked forward to watching that video just for that part.
Right.
Like,
It just fucked me up because at that moment it was all real to me.
and hold up, also, Vincent Price, once again. Vincent Price narrates that. I don't know if it's at the beginning or the end, but he's the one that's talking.
Yeah.
And like Vincent Price just had that voice. Like he knew what he had. Like if he probably did do comedy, but it obviously wasn't as popular as his horses. My man was on fucking 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Obviously they were marketing my man to everyone. And Scooby-Doo was also scary because it was just fucking scary.
Scooby-Doo was always scary.
Like, but good scary though.
Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
like, yes, this is going to scare me a little bit, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it so bad. Not like peeking. You know, like sometimes you watch a movie when you were a kid, you be like, oh, I don't want to see it. If you don't see it, it's not as bad. You can hear people just getting ripped apart by chainsaws, but if you're not looking at it, it's not scary. Not like that. It was just like a good, like that opening to Scooby-Doo that, oh, Scooby-Doo. That shit's scarier than the episode. Just the fact, because you get like the montage and it's to this nice hippie music, and it's just, it was great. Fucking Scooby-Doo. That was a good shit.
Laura
Like,
Spangler said, my friend can't watch The Flying Monkeys from The Wizard of Oz.
I love The Wizard. That's one of my favorite movies. But
Flying
I can
Monkeys
see
never
why
creeped
they're
you out?
scary. No, but I can see
They
why they're
creeped me
scary.
out. I know I wasn't scared of them, but they were creepy looking.
They're flying monkeys, man, and it's in a fucking movie that's in Technicolor. That's like if
Right,
it doesn't
right.
look like us,
Right.
it's automatically creepier. Like, because they're trying, like, obviously Wizard of Oz is one of those first movies that takes advantage of color, because the first half of the movie, like when they're in Kansas, they're in black and white
Right.
or monochrome. And then obviously when she goes to Oz, it's colorful. But like the flying monkeys, what's more scary to me in the Wizard of Oz are the trees. When they're picking the apples in the trees, like,
Yeah.
what motherfucker? And they
Yeah,
just
like,
start
get
throwing
off of
apples
me.
at the fucking scare. Like, in general, like the whole concept is kind of creepy, because you got a scarecrow that's walking around, and you got the Tin Man who can't talk, and he's like, and it's like, that's kind of creepy, but like in a good way again. But like I can see why somebody would think the flying monkeys are scary. But before I talk about Godzilla, Ron, you got to tell us, what were you possibly unreasonably afraid of as a kid?
Chucky.
Chucky, for
It
real?
was Chucky. It was the whole Chucky franchise. Child's Play, all that just creeped me the shit out. Every time I would see those movies, I never had Chucky dolls,
Right.
which I do now. They're around here somewhere.
I remember seeing something.
Yeah, I have some Chucky dolls now, but that's why, because they creeped the shit out of me, because it had me just staring at the toys like, is that really gonna happen?
See,
Like, is this dude gonna be on top of me? Awi dooey dumbula, and I'm gone now. Now I'm a fucking toy.
Well, no, I think you would be dead. He'd
He'd probably
just
be
in
dead,
your
and then
body.
he transfers. Right.
Do you guys remember those Buddy dolls?
Yeah, I
Buddy
was
dolls?
looking- it's
They're like,
a-
the same size as Chucky. They're like the same, but they're really, really
my
creepy.
buddy, my buddy.
I think I do.
Wherever
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah, look at
he
it
go.
if you want. You can
Like
look it
that
up.
was
But
I actually just saw that commercial
I-
recently. I mean, obviously it was older, but
I used to have one, and after Chucky,
you didn't have it no more.
I didn't have it anymore.
No.
Did you bury it? How'd you get
No,
rid
I
of it?
threw it away in the dumpster.
See,
And
I
I
would-
was very convinced that it was going to come back. So I made sure, because I knew when like the trash days were, and where our apartment was, the dumpster was outside. I could see it from the window. And in my head that night, I thought that I was going to look out of my window and he was going to be like standing in front of the dumpster, like, you know, doing that whole thing, like looking in my window. But I saw the trash truck
Your
come.
buddy.
Not that exact. I think mine had brown hair, but that's what it is.
I'm,
It's pretty much what. Yeah, I think it's
Pretty
the
much
same
that.
thing.
I can see why you like
Yeah.
CSI, because you had
That's
the
a creepy
forethought
looking little
to,
thing anyway.
I'm not going to throw this doll away until trash day.
Yeah,
I don't want him coming back. I don't want my mother singing in the trash. You got rid of that evidence. I feel you.
yeah.
But my thing with Chucky, and if I had paid attention when I was younger, it probably would have freaked me out. There's a channel I've talked about. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the podcast, but it's called Dead Meat. And the dude
Dead meat.
does like the kill counts of horror movies, and he also has
Oh
like,
yeah. I remember.
so
I've
he
seen
does.
That. I've seen
He's
that.
obviously does the Child's Play movies, and he's talking about the first Child's Play, and like how they make Chucky move, and it's not like how a cheap movie would be made today, where it's just like here, and then the camera cuts, and now he's over here. They actually showed the fucking doll moving. So yeah, if I had remembered that as a kid, I would definitely be freaked out, because it looks creepy now. It's like, it looks like a doll fucking moving. It doesn't look like a midget or a child. It looks like a fucking something that should be inanimate moving.
Right.
And that does add to the creep factor. So yeah.
Like, the thing that always, like, I wouldn't. I stopped being scared of movies when I was like, I don't know, I was like a teenager, but I started being like, wait a minute, like, it's a movie. Like there's cameras, there's crews. Like these people are actors and actresses. Like this is like if this doll is for
Is this your buddy?
say for example, yeah, that's what. Yep,
That's
I remember
my
the
buddy right
rainbow
there.
fucking clothes he had on. Yeah, that's
And I'm assuming
what I had.
these
Fuck that.
actual dolls came
I don't
out.
like that. fucking
that.
thing.
Listen, I'm assuming these dolls came out before actual Child's Play.
Yeah, this is older.
They
Like
had
that
to be-
way,
that
I
probably
feel like
was like an
Child's Play
inspiration.
was right.
Yeah.
because they're very similar. If you look at the Chucky doll and you look at him, like they're. I think that was kind of like.
Well,
they
whenever I
couldn't-
Google my buddy,
Chucky comes
it's
up.
Chucky. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
a bunch of
think
Chucky dolls.
My theory is that whoever made the Chucky films, they couldn't make him look. See, that's the same fucking shirt. For the most part, like you can't make the doll look just like
There you
the
go.
My Buddy doll. So what do you
Right.
do? You
Right.
create
very,
your own
very,
doll.
very similar though.
And it's because, dude, My Buddy dolls used to be popular as fuck.
Look at those two.
Just put it on.
Yeah.
They just
So-
made it more creepy though.
They just made it more creepy. They changed the hair color. They changed the.
But to be fair,
overalls.
hold up.
He's still got
And-
the
Chucky's not creepy when he's just the doll, though. Like the good guy dolls aren't
See,
creepy.
we know him as creepy because it's
Because
just
he's
like that's
Chucky.
Chucky.
Well, I'm saying
Yeah.
Chucky, yes, when he transforms,
No,
his
but even
face
the
is
doll.
well, I'm saying I
Because
don't
we
think the
know him.
actual good guy doll looks frightening on it in its own. Like I could see why a
You
kid
don't
would
see?
want it.
Is it on your screen yet?
It is, but I could see. No, I'm saying I could see why a kid would
Yeah.
want the good guy doll. If it looked like how fucking James Ray Charles or James Lee Ray, whatever it is in the doll, then no. Why would any fucking kid want that? That doll clearly looks fucked up. But when it's just like normal, when he's fooling people, or when it's just the one in the factory, it just looks.
I
Like,
mean, I get what you mean, but because of what we know about Chucky, even now you look at the doll and go, "That's Chucky."
oh
Like,
no, yeah, I get that.
But as a kid, though, I mean, when I saw those movies, I was like, "I don't want that fucking doll anymore."
But I'm saying
Shit.
if you were watching Chucky, the Child's Play for the first time, no matter what your age is, would you? I don't think you'd be creeped out by just the fact that he's in the toy warehouse and he stumbles across a doll. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
No, because there's no reason to be creeped
Right.
out.
No, but once that mofo jumps in that doll,
Yeah,
and
I
he
mean,
starts
obviously
murking,
once the
then you're
doll
like,
is-
oh yeah, yeah.
But did he have like super strength or something? Because I never understood why people wouldn't just pick his little ass up and just break him in half or something.
Well,
think
he
he just
he
scared
was well. First off, he was very durable. Like he got fucked up.
He did a lot.
Especially in
Yeah,
that
but
second one. Like
why
he
were
took
people
damage.
like and it's like coming at me and I'm like, I can't move, I don't know what to do.
I think it's like part of the shock.
I know it's part of
If-
the build up. I get that.
If
but-
that shoe over there just started moving by itself,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
wouldn't
what?
know.
Like
You
I'd
don't
be
know
caught
how
off
to-
guard.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, shoe. Like I think you'd have to be like top notch ass kicker that just always want.
I don't know. I mean, I get that point, but if I saw a doll coming at me with a knife, I'm definitely going to be like, how the fuck is this real life right
But
now?
he also-
but I'm going to kick him or burn him or
I'm thinking
throw him
a
in the
lot
oven
about
or
I'd just
something.
pick him up and throw him.
I'm thinking a lot about the third one when they're on the little military base. The little,
Yeah.
And I remember like the top dude, the doll's in his office. He took him from the little black kid. He took him from him.
Yeah.
And,
yep.
I remember the way he got the man down. Like it wasn't like the man was sitting or standing and he ran at him with a knife. He tricked him into being on the ground, and so it would be more even playing field, if that makes sense. So it's not like, again, it's not like a doll just running across the street and I'm fully capable of defending myself. The dude was in a almost defenseless position when he got attacked. Like he made him trip over something, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but yeah, I would definitely be fighting a doll back, even if he's standing with a knife. Unless you stab me in my heart or my head. If you stab me in my arm, I got another fucking arm. Like
Right.
I'm not trying to have unexplained fucking injuries at my funeral.
Exactly.
They were like, he was sliced up by an intruder.
Real
like,
quick,
no,
too.
it was a fucking doll. I'm not going out like that. I'm gonna beat the fucking doll's ass.
But even if you trip though, like I mean, if you have to trip and break something, you trip, fall down, you're not like
Yeah,
incapacitated.
but I feel
you
like
can
that's a
still-
horror movie trope.
It is
though.
very much a horror movie trick. They always fall.
But
in
I
the
feel
movies.
like in Chucky, at least, it's not like how when Jason he's chasing you through the woods and he's not running and you're running as fast as you can.
Yeah, but Jason teleports, so you're.
Well, I'm
you're
saying it's not
running
like
and
that.
he's in
It's
front
just
of
that
you.
he gets you down, like he trips you over something, or he tangles your fucking feet up in something. Where you're just
Because you get freaked out.
right.
When you're stressed out, you're trying to move too fast and you can't do things as efficiently anyway. So it does make sense that you'd be kind of freaked out and dropping things, and like you can't put your keys in the ignition, but yet
They
Jason's
can
just around the
never-
corner.
They can never.
They
Or-
can never do it.
Or if
ever
they get them
open a
keys in that
door or
ignition,
anything.
or they get them keys in that ignition, now your car doesn't want to work.
Well,
brand
right.
new
No.
2021. You just drove off the lot. You get that key in the ignition. It's like, oh my god, it wants to.
You know what's really funny is that the whole time they're trying to get their keys in, he's not there. He's not
Right.
there. He's not there. It could be an hour and a half. He's not there.
not there.
He's gonna
As
be like that.
soon as that key
whole
goes
time.
in
It's gonna
that
be like
hole,
this. Fuck it. I can't get the key in, Jason. Michael,
He ain't gonna go
the
nowhere.
key. I can't get the key in.
be
Now.
like,
Like this.
damn
911. No, I want this key. Please help me. This key. I can't get my key in. And then they
as that
show
key
up.
goes
Like,
in.
no, that key ain't never getting in. You gotta outsmart the fucking horror movie killers, bro. I'm surprised that hasn't been. I'm surprised like something like Scream hasn't captured, because that's meta, where it's still a horror movie, but it knows it's a horror
Yeah.
movie.
What if you slid the key in real quick and he came and you took it back out and he's like,
he's just- And like, no, you see him just teleport back. Like what? What the fuck is that?
Really
has
doesn't even
power.
And then you're like, you put it back in slowly, and he's back there. You're like, oh shit, you. But like he doesn't.
He keep
You don't see him coming forward. He just teleports forward. But when you take it out, you see him just disappearing back. Like,
But then you gotta keep going. You gotta keep fucking with him.
then you'd be like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna walk. Like,
Yeah,
no,
so-
I think. Oh man, it's almost. Well, it is that time of year where, like, I guess horror movies are in fashion, even though they're always in fashion. But you know, it's that fall time. It's not Halloween. It's not October yet. But you were asking me about Godzilla.
And Lori from the chat said that Godzilla is awesome.
Godzilla is awesome. I love the. I haven't seen all the movies, but
I've seen a lot of them.
I enjoy them because it's just fascinating. It's just that what's frightening to me, and I think this is a very, and I was telling Jimmy, I will quote it, it's a very reasonable, unreasonable fear. Whereas when I'm near large bodies of water, or even if I see it on television or in a movie or some shit, I just imagine him breaking the surface and coming up right
coming
then.
So you say reasonable, unreasonable. I have to argue the reasonable part. It's reasonable for people to be around large bodies of water and be a little uneasy because, like, maybe they're scared of drowning, or maybe they had a traumatic experience as a kid not watching Godzilla, like they almost drowned out of a boat or something, and they don't like water, and they're like that kind of person. I don't think it's reasonable to think that a big ass dinosaur is going to
But
come
that's
out
the
of nowhere.
but no, see, that's the unreasonable part, because I know Godzilla's not real. I know, unless the government, some government's doing a fantastic fucking job of keeping that a secret. I know there's no lizard that's larger than most fucking buildings under the water somewhere that could
hanging
just
out.
come up when he wants. And I definitely know his ass isn't in a fucking lake like the one by my parents' house.
Right.
That clearly doesn't lead to a bigger body of water that he could come from.
And
It's-
just like
that's
Frankenstein.
that's the unreasonable part. The reasonable
Baltimore,
part
of
is
all
like you
places.
thinking about the water. Oh, he might have just been on a trip through. You know,
Well, it's just like Frankenstein in Baltimore. Come on.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
He might have just been.
yeah,
you
it's,
were sitting on his dreams, man.
no. I'm just saying, like Frankenstein, Godzilla. They're like, we can go anywhere. We're going to Baltimore.
Going to, hey, it's a good tourist city, man. Hey, checking it out. Godzilla could reasonably come here.
Yeah,
it's
because
a big
we're
ass.
on the-
He
It's
could
a
make
harbor.
it.
Yeah,
Now, if
we're
this
on
is
the
fucking Denver,
coast.
and somebody's like, "Oh my God, fucking Godzilla's in my parents' pond," like, bro, you can't even
by
fit in
now.
your pond. It's got like 3 kois in that pond.
Messi
How-
can't even fit in your pond.
Right. But no, that's why I said it's a reasonable, unreasonable fear.
The original Howling was scary as hell. We got in the chat.
I used to have that on DVD, but I never watched it. I used
I've
to
never
have
seen it. Yeah,
I used to
never
have a
seen
lot of
Howling.
DVDs, but I didn't watch them all. That's a werewolf movie, Jimmy.
See, now I love werewolves. I think they're awesome. Like
Yeah. I mean, hold on. Let me take this conversation back to the top of the conversation when you were mentioning Underworld. I don't think I've ever really heard anything negative about those movies. Like, I haven't seen.
I love.
I've only seen the first one, but I don't think I've ever heard like even like critically people like, oh, this 4th one sucks, or like I was talking more so like things that definitely aren't good. Like you said, it could be somebody's favorite shit, which they clearly are things I'm a fan of, but I know, like, on a critical stand perspective, they're not good.
What makes someone a movie critic, like a credible movie critic? Do they take
Credible
courses
movie
or something? Is there such a thing?
They probably just have a big following.
When you're
right?
thinking about,
they've
like-
been doing it
like
for
Even
Well,
years.
like,
a
well,
writer
like,
type
well,
Start
like
writing about
Rotten
it.
Tomatoes, like that's a company. Like people don't they
But isn't
work
that
for
voted
them.
by people who are members of Rotten Tomatoes, or do they have a like?
They have like a critic score, and then they have an
Oh, yeah.
audience score. So the audience, I think, is what like.
See,
us.
I don't care
That's what
about
I
the critic
critic.
part. I do care. I mean, I don't necessarily care about the audience either. Like, if I want to see something, I'll see
I'm
it.
gonna see it, right.
I mean, I can agree if, like, yeah, that wasn't really worth my time, but I don't let that influence me.
I just wonder what makes someone's opinion of a movie more valid than someone else's, if it even does. Like,
Probably it's just been
like,
going there forever.
Are they like, oh, I'm a professional movie critic? It's like, well, what is that? Like, did you study something for that, or did you have to go through something?
I don't
Is
think
there-
you technically have to do anything. It's just that
just
they're
write about it.
doing it, and they've been
just
doing
do
it for
it.
so
It's
long
just like
that
wrestling
people.
critics.
So they're
It's
like
just the-
journalists.
it's like the
Yeah.
inside wrestling journalists who have never actually been in the business, but yet they write as if they know everything, and they're just writing opinions. It
Right.
really is just opinions, and no one can stop you from writing opinions. And if
Sure.
you get enough people who want to listen to you, then
Yeah, that's how
what
they-
makes it
that's
valid or
how
not
they-
valid, you know?
Just like all the YouTube movie reviews, and it's just a form of entertainment. It's just another form of entertainment. Like, I know when I watch something, if it's popular enough, then I'll look at a review
Right.
or look at, like, how something's explained in it. Even if I wasn't confused, I just want to consume that additional media, if that makes sense. It's not like watching the extras on the DVD. You know what I mean? Like, going back to Resident Evil. Resident Evil was the first movie that I actually watched with the director's commentary. For no particular reason, it's just that I had the movie, it was rented. I'd already watched the movie. Let me get the rest of this blockbuster money. Like, let me watch
Right.
and that was
I
pretty
used
cool.
to watch the making of scary movies when I was younger. I would watch the making of it first, so that way I knew what all the people looked like. I knew what the makeup looked like. I knew it was just a movie and like all the monsters and all that stuff. So I would watch the making of it first, and then be like, all right, cool. I know what that guy that's killing everybody. He's a nice guy. And then I'll fucking watch, and then I watch
He's
the
a nice
movie.
guy. It gives you that, though. It gives you that comfort.
Because I used to, because I'm like, this isn't real. It's just a movie. There's cameras everywhere. Like, I get it.
But sometimes that's still scary, like the found footage movies. Like, again, in the horror
The found
movie,
footage
Blair
movies.
like Blair Witch,
Yeah.
Cloverfield.
Blair Witch, did Blair Witch get you?
No, and
Blair
that's what I
Witch
was
got
gonna,
the shit
and that's
out
what I
of
was
me. I
going
was
to
in
mention.
Florida, creeped
Like,
out like a
people were
motherfucker.
in the group, and it's like they've been talking about it recently, like as if the movie just fucking came out. But they're like, "Was this real? Was this real?"
Really?
And I remember being in 6th grade watching it, being creeped out by it because of the way it's presented, but knowing it wasn't real. So I don't know how people are like that confused as adults. But I do think the found footage like that, because it's more realistic.
Like,
Because like you can
paranormal activity and stuff.
right, like
mean,
that's a
that's
different setup.
sort of-
I find those scary for a different reason, other than the fact that they're found footage. It's just I just find that whole.
When you say found footage, how many found footage like movies are there? I mean,
Well, we
these
just
are
named
found
3 different.
Blair Witch, right?
Blair Witch, Cloverfield,
Cloverfield was found footage.
the Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Well, you said paranormal activity was different just now. That's
Well,
why
no,
I asked.
It's a found. It's like they were
Well, that's what I'm
recording it.
saying.
Like sometimes it's a person holding like a
A
camcorder, like
camcorder.
Blair
yeah.
Witch, or sometimes they're setting it up and they're doing a
Oh,
documentary.
that's why I asked
of
that. 'Cause
something.
I thought you were saying that paranormal was different, and I was gonna say, well, how is it different? It's like the same thing.
Well, it's different to me because it's actually fucking freaky. But
No, I meant like the camera angle.
well, it's just the way that
camera
it's
work and all
recorded.
that
Yeah.
stuff. So you're more scared of paranormal than you were Blair Witch?
Yeah, I wasn't scared. I think Blair Witch is fascinatingly creepy. Like I would watch it now and be like, "Oh, this is creepy," because it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
creepy.
just
It's
people-
somebody
right.
lost in the woods, and obviously the woods are, especially me growing up in the inner city. You didn't spend too much time in the woods. Even though I want to go into the woods, I do go into the woods. But when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, y'all not supposed to be in the
especially
woods."
at nighttime.
Like, I ask my family all the time, like, "Hey, when can we go on a camping trip?" And they're like, "You have fun with that."
Good
and,
luck, buddy.
And yeah, it's just an aversion people like this have. But but
Bob!
it's the truth.
Bob!
I don't think that's the truth. I really have a hard time feeling like the color of your
Oh,
skin.
can we open up a fucking poll and ask all the black people how willing they are to just go in the woods?
I
And they're
think a
gonna be
lot
like-
of people
they're gonna
have
be
a
like,
fear.
I think a lot more black people have that fear than white people. Is what I'm saying.
White people.
White
seem
people are a
more
lot more
outdoorsy.
adventurous. Why do you think the Blair Witch Project
What
had
about
white
Asians?
people?
What about Asians? Are they scared of the woods?
Much more practical. If they're going to go into the woods, they're going to be prepared. They're going to have their calculators and their pencils.
So white people are just going to try
White
to
people
rug
be
it.
like,
They're just,
white
I'm going to go out there with my
you've
compass.
seen. They're going to be like, hold up, you hear that coming from the woods? Pass me my shoes, man. Like, and all they have is their shoes. It's fucking winter. They didn't grab a coat. They just want to know what that sound is.
Right.
Do not tell me I'm lying to me.
Hispanics.
Hispanics, they know better. They know better. If they go, they're going in a group and they're not splitting up.
But Amora said, going back to Rotten Tomatoes, there's a lot that you have to do to be a movie critic for Rotten Tomatoes. Lots of people love the Blair Witch Project. Blair Witch is scary because of what you can't see. That's a good point too, because that was I was waiting the whole time for the damn reveal of the witch.
Something.
And
this-
you don't get that. You just get some people standing in the corner. You're like, what the fuck?
I think the scary part is the main protagonist, the woman, freaking the fuck out when like shit's starting to go downhill.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, we lost the map, or how'd you lose the map? Oh, how'd that get there? That wasn't there. Like that is what makes it. You don't get like you don't get a as a kid.
And that happened in Maryland too.
Right, it's in Maryland. So that movie came out like what 2000. I remember being like in 6th grade when I watched it. So it had to have come out
Freaked out like
2000
a
before
motherfucker.
2000 2001. So.
You know, I found out it wasn't filmed in Maryland though.
But hold on. At that point in your life, you think a witch is, I'm gonna get you out on a broom and shit. So you're waiting for that to come out. You don't see that. All you hear
on a broom and
is,
shit.
all you hear is, what is that? What is like? And it's like, damn, bitch, you scared the shit out of me. What is that? What is that? Like, shit, what is? Like,
is
yo,
that
that rock
reaction.
wasn't there, bro.
That is that reaction,
Like,
though.
And I think that's why it worked for it.
What is that?
But
Damn, bitch, you scared the
She
shit out of
sold
me.
that shit, bro. Shorty should have got all the fucking Oscars, bro. She should have got Oscars for categories she wasn't even in.
And
But-
different at the time, yeah, because you didn't get like those. Oh, we discovered these tapes.
Right.
Now you're here. We're gonna release it for theatrical
Like I think
release.
before that, Cannibal Holocaust is another found footage.
Yes, Blair
one.
Witch was in Maryland. They're asking if it was in Maryland.
But
Yes,
you're saying it
was.
wasn't filmed there?
It wasn't filmed in Maryland, no.
I didn't.
And
I never knew that.
Amora said, "I'm definitely not going if I hear sounds in the woods."
Because they
see-
said it was in the Black Forest up there in like Frederick or whatever. Like that's a real
Like, up
where
in the deep, yeah.
where it was where the movie took place, quote unquote, is a real place here. Like
But they
the
didn't
Black
actually do it there.
Woods or Black Forest or whatever it's called.
Up in
But
Maryland.
yeah, it wasn't. It's up in like Frederick area, Burkittsville.
I
but-
will say,
That sounds familiar.
you
Burkittsville.
mentioned that all black people aren't afraid of the woods and shit. That's true. I have done some things that can be considered white people shit. Like
What-
I have risked my life not thinking about it. Like I remember I gave a guy a Uber. I think I can't remember which airport I picked him up. I don't remember if it was Dallas or BWI, but I dropped him off in DC. And he's like, I'm just coming to visit my mom. I live in South America now. I'm just coming to visit my mom every now and then. He was older too. And he's like, she has this really good view of the river, of the Potomac. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when we get there, he was like, do you want to see the river? And I'm like, yeah, cool. He's like, yeah, literally, it's just, you got a great view. And he's like, just follow me. And I'm following him, pitch black. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm following him. And he could have just been like, surprise, bitch, and stabbed me or strangled me. But lo and behold, I'm still here. He showed me a bitchin' ass view. Even at night, it was a really good straight view of the river, and you could see DC in the distance.
Really?
And it was like, because where his house
We
was,
might have to go
you
there,
had to
Bob.
go up this
You
little
might have to
hill.
show me. You might have to
I
take
don't.
another
I wouldn't
trip.
remember how to get to that.
Come on, Bob. Let's try.
I wouldn't remember.
Put your shoes on. And
Leave
follow
my
the
coat
noises.
in the winter.
Follow the noises.
And then another thing, when I moved into my current house, there's these 3 doors in the dining room, and behind the doors are like the water heater, and then the steps that leave upstairs because I live in the basement apartment. But I didn't know that at first. Like I had looked at it when I first moved in, and I saw the water heater, but then my ex, she came with me and she was looking like I wanted her to do the walkthrough because she'd be more thorough than me. And that's when I saw the steps. And I was like, steps. And I start going up the steps, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just wanted to see where they led. That was white people shit. Black people typically don't do that, Jimmy, but I did because I was curious. Like, because in my mind, those steps weren't there when I first moved.
So you're not
scroll up there real quick.
You're
Well, I know
not
where
you're
the
not
flashlight-
white, so it must be black people shit. You're black. You did it.
That's like saying you. I'm not saying you have to be only one color to do shit. I'm saying what I was doing was uncharacteristic of people of my complexion. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I did misspeak. The Blair Witch was filmed in the state of Maryland, but it wasn't only the scenes that showed like the Burkittsville sign. They got that, but it was actually filmed at Seneca Creek State Park in Montgomery County.
Also,
So,
Oh, Montgomery
no,
County?
that's what I said. That's
way
what I meant.
closer than what I was.
But that's what I meant. I meant it wasn't filmed in those woods where it takes place. I said it wasn't filmed here at all. It was filmed in Maryland, but at Seneca Creek State Park was where most of the film was filmed. So I just wanted to clarify because
Which is very pretty out there. I think we should go out there and hunt for the. Oh, we got to get Bob out there now, Bob. We got to get you out there. We got to go camping with Bob.
I'm down.
Hell yeah.
I'm down.
That's all you had to say. We'll end that there. And he's down. We're gonna schedule a trip out.
I mean,
everybody, y'all are gonna follow us along because we have also real quick in the works. And I don't know if you want to come with this. I hope that you would because I'd love to have the whole SVR crew for it. We're gonna work on 8 episodes of some ghost hunting. Right now, we're trying to figure out 8 locations. So if you guys have 8, like any location that's within reason of the Baltimore area, the Northeast kind of area, so that we can travel to and we can film some ghost hunting. We're going to do 8 episodes of a ghost hunting show. I have a couple of other people we're going to work with who are going to help us with the production of it. So it's going to be like a legit SVR thing. And we're going to go out and talk some shit to. Well, I'm going to talk shit to ghosts. Y'all handle it however you want to handle it.
I think I'm gonna be the one respecting the ghost.
Yeah,
because
you can.
I believe in them, and I don't want them to come back home with me.
That's okay. I'll take them.
I don't want them to
Come back home with me, ghost. Let's snuggle. I need a snuggle buddy.
They're not gonna keep you very warm. They're gonna actually make you cold as shit.
Probably. Yeah.
Ron gonna be like, God damn it!
Why can't I?
God, I got 3 blankets on. I got the heat on. I even got some oven heat in this bitch. Why am I so fucking cold?
and that's only after like the second filming. So we still got goddamn like 6 more to go.
But
and then
as long as I don't freeze to death, I'm gonna get my happy ass out there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Still talk mad shit.
It's gonna be like after the 3rd filming, he's gonna come back home and it's gonna be even worse. And then the 4th time we go out to shoot, Ron's gonna be like, "I'm so happy you are allowing me to come into your home.
No, bullshit.
I'm so honored."
Bullshit.
That's what happens, bro.
No,
you're
not.
gonna get converted.
No, I'm not one of these fucking National Geographic fucking motherfuckers who go out there. Thank you for letting us come into your home. We're sorry if no. How'd you die? How'd you die?
So
It
then,
would be
so
awesome.
then
Hogan.
the
How'd you die?
4th. So then the 4th time we're gonna
How'd
go
you
out
die?
and film.
I'll drop a leg.
And
on
then
them bitches.
we're gonna he's gonna come back home after the 4th shoot, and he's gonna go in his bathroom and he's gonna look in the fucking mirror after he washes his face or something, and his fucking reflection is gonna turn into a fucking demon and come after him. And then number 6, he's still gonna be out there talking shit.
I'm not gonna let it go.
And then
I'm hard headed as shit.
he's gonna come-
I'll ignore all that shit. Keep
He's
going.
gonna come
gonna
home
run.
after the 6th shoot, and Adam's gonna be standing in the fucking corner facing the wall,
Like the
and you're gonna
Blair
be
Witch.
like, Adam, and he's just gonna start levitating. Yeah, and then,
It's just going-
and then Adam's gonna be like, "You gotta stop talking so much shit."
And Ron's gonna be like,
Please.
Ron's gonna be
Hurt
like,
us all.
that's pretty fucking cool, Adam. If ghosts were so real, they would levitate me, but they're not. I got work to do. You do what the fuck you're doing in that corner.
Have
and
fun.
He's just
And then it's gonna be like,
exactly what I
and then
would
it's gonna be like the fucking ending of the first fucking Paranormal. He's gonna say that, and Ron's gonna walk back through the towards the hallway, and his body's just gonna come fucking flying out against the
the
fucking
wall.
bookshelf.
And I'll just be like, boom, like, damn, I didn't. How did I fall or
Is
something?
that all you got?
Just
I would
blissfully
like-
ignorant. To
I
it.
do
all
feel
this crazy
like-
shit's happened, but just ignorant.
I do feel like he's telling the truth though.
Yeah.
Like no matter how much proof, he's just gonna be like, "Fuck you, ghost." Like he's gonna eventually accept it, but he's like, "This is my motherfucking house. I pay the rent in this bitch. fuck you. And it's like he's still gonna talk shit, even though they be fucking with him.
And all the fucking
my
drawers
face.
and shit are gonna fly open. And
He's gonna be taking a
fine
shower
with
one
that.
day. He's gonna be taking a
Do
shower.
that. That would be look. Open up the drawers. Open up the drawers.
I agree. I don't believe in ghosts. It's stupid, but
He's
I
gonna be
think-
he's gonna be in the fucking shower. The heat's gonna be whatever level he likes it, and then all of a sudden, nothing but cold water. He's gonna be like, ha ha, very funny, ghost. Can I please have some privacy here? Like,
And it's
I
gonna,
mean,
blood's
cold
gonna
showers
come out.
are actually healthier for me, so you're giving me more discipline. Laura Spangler said $10. Ron is up to 8 sticks on the ghost by episode 6.
8 sticks.
8 sticks.
What's that mean?
That's my anger levels.
Oh.
It's rated between 0 and 10. And normally you like to break like 1 or 2 sticks, but if you get up to like 5 or 6, then you're fucking.
You got
you're
the
getting
10 that
beat.
day. Rick told you it was gonna be okay.
It's going to be okay. Like, it's not going to. First of all, it's not going to
Oh
be
man,
okay.
but bro,
You
it
can't
was.
tell me it's going to be
But
okay.
bro,
It's not.
it was so fucking funny because everything was normal, and Ron was just a little peeved about whatever he was
Yep,
doing.
yep,
Like
that's all.
he was a point. He was half of one.
It was like a half a
And
stick.
And
see-
then Rick
It was a
was
half a
like,
stick.
"It's going to be all right." And then, if Ron was joking, he played this off perfectly. If not, this motherfucker went to 10 so quick. He was like, "Don't fucking tell me it's going to be all right, because it's not. Because this shit is." I'm like, God. I'm
And
sitting-
see, I
I'm
like
sitting
to think-
I was like, I felt like, you know, when that drunk father's beating their kid, and the wife is like, "I'm gonna let Tommy get that ass whipping today. I'm not saying shit, because then he's gonna put the paws on me." Like, that's how I was like, God damn,
Well,
Rick's about
see,
to get mauled in this bitch.
I like to think I'm on a different level than Rick in terms of like Ron and I, you know what I mean? But like I felt like when I was joking with Ron about whether he wanted to hear the facts on the drink, I felt like he started getting 10 sticks on me. You were like, I don't care. I'm not sensitive. I'm not sensitive. Why would I care? And I'm like, brother, I'm fucking.
And you still
I'm-
never told me.
I did tell
He
you.
did
You
tell
didn't
you.
listen.
He told you.
You didn't listen.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Exactly.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
you got.
You see
how did I
that
get?
really was?
But how did I get
Was
you
that
mad?
really
though?
important to me?
You asked me
Was
to do
that
it.
really important to me?
I don't know. Apparently not.
Like I don't remember what they
Apparently
were.
not.
He did tell you,
Not.
but I never imagined. I mean, I remember you telling the stories of, like, you were at the concert and the one dude like bumped into you
Oh,
and
no,
he
I
was
really
being a
did do
dick.
that. No, because
but
he
no,
said
I
this-
get that.
Yeah, no, I really
and I
get mad
like,
at that.
excuse me, goddamn, I don't know if I want to hiccup or burp, but like, or yawn. But like, I get like you being upset with that. That's
Yeah,
reasonable.
yeah.
But like, I didn't like when you got mad at Rick. I was like, damn, because I remember like, I think the first episode we recorded here, me and you got into it, and like that was reasonable why you were upset.
Right.
But like when you yelled at Rick, I was like, God damn, man, Rick didn't even do shit.
Now you don't know.
Use your own fucking feet.
Now you don't know.
I mean, I think we all have anger issues. Like Jimmy's always at a 10. So it's like, I think if he's not at a 10, his body's gonna be like, "What are you doing to me, man? Get angry,
Right.
get angry." Like
I'm not always at a 10.
you're
very
never
close to a
you're
10
never
usually.
lower than an 8.
Being angry?
Yes, you're 8 or above.
Like,
The first thing that you do whenever I see you is you usually roll your eyes and talk about some bullshit going on. True or not true?
I mean, that is pretty true.
And me,
But I feel like there are different types of like anger. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like we all have different little things that set us off. You know what I mean? Like when someone tells Ron everything's okay,
see,
code
I'm a-
red.
I'm
You know
about-
what I mean?
not okay.
Like I don't know if somebody talks shit about My Little Pony because it's stupid. Like that might
I'm
be
about
something.
to
That,
piss. Listen,
You
watch
know.
how quickly I pissed Jimmy off right here.
stop! What are you doing?
I'm,
Stop!
I'm always angry. I'm always at a 10. I just hide it. But being the Gemini that I am, I knew I would get over here. No,
Well, you know,
but listen,
Leos are known as to be spark
listen.
plugs.
I'm
my
always
God.
angry, but I hide it well. But then it'll be like some really, really, really small, insignificant shit that's like, I'm gonna kill the next person I see. And like they're like, what the fuck's happened? I'm like, bruh, I've been like this since '88. It's just I don't let it come out because I know it's wrong. But I'm always mad. Like I'm like Hulk in the Avengers, where he's like, and Bruce, I need you to get angry. And Bruce turned around like, I'm always angry. That's me. I am always angry. I just control it. I contain
Control
it.
it well.
Yes, I am a boiling fucking thunderball on the inside, bro.
And Amora said anger management. Is she talking to all of us?
Probably all of us.
I don't know. Like I don't. There's a lot of shit that I don't like that I feel like.
Does it really get you heated though? Like really get you heated? Because the way that I look at it as like I get peeved. Like Rick was peeving. That was peeving. That's not really mad, but maybe I react. Maybe the way that I react, it seems like just because of the way that I am.
Right.
But if it really bothers me, then I'm like I can't drop. I'm really actually angry. You know.
Well, some people just have intense personalities.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you come off to me like you're just an intense dude, and that's even when you're happy. You get excited, like when we're in the gym, and you're like, "Yeah, it's going to be a good
I
day."
can't tell you how many people tell me to stop yelling, and
You don't even know.
5 sticks already.
But do you even know that you're
No,
that animated?
I have no idea.
Well,
Until they
no.
say it, and I'm like, "Fuck you! This
Fuck
is
you.
fucking me." The fuck
Yeah.
are you talking
I was just about
me?
to ask.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm,
was about
I'm
to
way
say-
better with it now. Though.
I was like, was the happy 5 sticks, or when they tell you to stop yelling, then you get the 5 sticks?
I get the 5 sticks when they tell me. Because I'm just being me. I'm just
Right.
enjoying myself or whatever. And they're like, wow, it's
But I
okay."
feel like
And
at
I'm
that
like,
point-
what the and then I just lose it.
But see, I feel
Then
like at
lose
that
it,
point,
know?
you got to know yourself. But you just said you don't know that you're yelling. So
Right.
it's like,
I
if
get it.
I know when I'm yelling.
Right.
So I'm not going to be like, if Jimmy's like, Bob, why are you so loud? I'm not going to be like, what the fuck you mean? Why am I so... I'm not even loud! I'm fucking whispering!
You know, one thing that really pisses, and I think like we all,
This is why I fit into wrestling, though.
yeah,
It's perfect.
we all joke with each other and stuff like that when it comes to some of this stuff. But like, I don't like one thing that really gets under my skin is that like alpha mentality. Like when you go somewhere and it's like you see these guys and I don't know, maybe they're intimidated by you, or maybe they're just something about you rubs them the wrong way and they gotta like get all like
They got a posture. And,
alpha on you.
Yeah, weird stuff.
Like they're more of a man than you are. I hate that shit. Like that makes me want to murder them. You know what I mean? Like, because then you're making me feel like you think I'm less of a man. It's kind of like me and Bob would be joking about certain. I'm not gonna say because I think it's kind of it's not proper. It's sexual. But like we'll be joking and I'll make a comment on somebody and Bob would be like, "No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think," I know Bob's joking,
Right.
But
Bob's
I
Bob.
hate the fact like, do you think I'm a
Oh,
bitch?
you do say that though.
You know,
no,
like
I
am
do-
I
I
a
know.
bitch to
Seen that
you?
interaction between you two.
But see, I know that you're... I don't want to say masculine, but I know you're... I don't think you're a bitch.
But
To answer your question.
are you
just-
sure? Because I feel like you think everyone on the planet could whoop my ass. Like your daughter could legitimately fuck me up.
No.
Anybody's kid.
I don't feel that way. I just, like I said, at this point, it's like a rib. It's like just how we interact with each other. So like, I don't think, I just have fun saying that shit. Because when I say it, it's like a compliment to that person. Because
Wow.
like, I know what you're looking at. I know why you're looking at it. I'm like, huh. And, you know, I'm not going to go into detail. And
It's too, yeah, no,
This
it's
is really important.
it's
I'm
too in
I'm
depth.
sorry to butt in, guys, but this is one of the most important things that I've seen in the chat. Amora said #MLPLM.
It's very true.
Mexican Pizza Lives Matter.
Lives matter.
Oh, I thought it said MLP.
I messed it up.
I thought
it's
it was
MPLM.
No, I thought she meant My Little Pony Matters. Like,
Damn,
I was
that
like,
should have been.
but I looked at it and I'm like, with the P and the L on it.
I messed it up. It was
It's,
Mexican Pizza
MPLM.
Life?
It's a live stream thing.
We were doing that on. What? That was Insta.
That was last night.
That was Insta. Yeah.
See, my thing is though, like when Jimmy's talking about the alpha males, and I just
don't like when people look at me and think I'm a
People posture,
bitch.
like,
You
I'm
know what I
sure
mean?
that
Like,
you
what
probably
makes you
get that
think?
more
But see, the
because
thing
you're a
is,
larger
I don't pay
person.
attention to it because I'm secure
You don't
myself.
pay- right.
Like,
that's the thing. That's
I'm
what
not
I was
gonna.
tell
I'm not the
Jimmy.
person that's like I'm gonna walk in the room and fuck anybody up. I'm gonna lose some fights,
Right.
but I enjoy the fucking fight. So
Right,
I'm not
right,
gonna be
right.
like, I'm not gonna be like, damn, I'm about to
Well,
get my
no,
ass
so-
whipped.
Scared.
But I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get my ass whipped the style headbutt, bam.
So,
I'm gonna get my ass whipped.
do you? So, is it like a?
Bang?
Is it like a?
Damn, that's beautiful.
I'm
I
insecure.
love
Is
you,
that why
Bob.
it bothers me? Or
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I personally just don't pay too much attention.
No,
to it.
and it's not that I don't like look
I don't
forward or
think
pay
you're-
attention to it. I just hate when people do that. I don't
I
like when
think
people do
you
that.
have you definitely have some deep rooted shit, but I'm not like a therapist. I don't know where it comes from or what it is.
I'd also hang around nothing but larger people than me. You know what I mean? So I may have a little man complex compared to some of the people I hang around because everyone's larger than me, where there's muscle, where there's fat, where there's height, where there's whatever it is. People, that's
See,
fine.
that makes sense.
But people are larger than me. And it's weird because when I get around people that are smaller than me, whether it be skinnier or shorter or whatever, I feel like I'm the big guy in the room. But when I'm around like you guys or there's a few other people that I know that are just larger than me, I feel like that makes me feel like I need to overcompensate, but like if we're in a situation, don't like make jokes or threaten or call me out or something like that. It's like you don't know me, you know what I mean? Like you don't act like you're just some big dominant fucking like macho man dude just cuz you know what I'm saying?
There
Like
was a time when we were hanging out and I would be like, "Damn, this dude's being a bitch." But I know that's not you now. And I don't think it was you necessarily then. You were just being more cautious than I generally was. If that makes sense.
Are you talking about Philly?
I'm talking about both times we were in Philly.
No, there was one time.
No, hold on.
Rick brought it up.
Let me talk.
Rick brought it up last week.
No, but I'm saying
It's funny
the
you
very
say
first
that.
time
Rick
we went
brought
to
that up
Philly,
last week.
there was like this little
was an
bar
alley.
or a club, and it was like
Down an alley.
and you were like, "I'm not going down there."
I was
and
like,
I'm
I don't think that's a good idea.
And I'm like, it's just a little
I'd never
alley.
been there before.
But me neither. But like, I get now that that's just more your personality. Whereas me, I'd be like, oh, somebody just got shot down there, but I wonder why they went down there.
Now,
Like,
would you say that's white people shit, or is that
in an urban environment?
Oh, come on! You hear some shit or see some shit, and you want to go check it out.
White people shit is when you're in your home and you're on your ground floor
And you go
hear,
upstairs.
and you hear a chainsaw going on in your basement, and you're
And
like,
you run upstairs.
You're like, I know I didn't have a chainsaw in my house at all. Let me leave. No, white people were like, hey, who's down there with that chainsaw? That's white people shit.
I think it's
there is
more
no
when
acceptable answer
when
to
they
that.
run
That's
upstairs.
movies, though, Bob. That's movies. I ain't doing that shit.
I hope
Unless I got a
not.
gun
Even then,
or a big knife.
even then,
If I got a chainsaw, I'll throw that knife at them faster than they can get that fucking chainsaw at
and
me.
the chainsaw's heavy too. Yeah, no, it
Heavy
makes sense.
chainsaw.
But no, I don't know. Like Jimmy, and then the other, I know that's not you now. It's just that me, I try to embrace life with this.
But what happened in Philly?
That's what he was saying. It was just a bar that we had to go down this like alley to get to the bar, and I didn't know. It was my first time in Philly.
And mind you, even if it was a bar, even if it was the coolest place ever, we wouldn't have been able to get in. I think I was 21.
Yeah, we couldn't
But
get
I
in.
was just curious as to what it was.
And I
We
was
have to
just
do our getting kicked out of the club story too. Let's do that. We'll do that after this.
But
but I was cautious about going down this particular alley. I didn't like here. You got to think I'm a Southern boy that like Baltimore was the only city I've ever lived in.
Right.
It was only a
Me
few
too,
years.
me too.
Yeah,
Same-
it's only a few years after I had moved up here, and I never been outside of this city.
Right.
So it was my first time in Philly. I'm with my friends, sure, but I'm in Philly. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying that's the
This is the
reality
scenario,
of it.
right.
And I just saw an alley where the bar was, or like we had to go through to get to this bar, and nobody knew where the fuck we were going. It was just we knew we wanted to go to that bar because we were trying to find bars that we were going to be able to get into.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not going down there. I don't want to go down there. And that was like 10 years ago. And they have never let me, because Rick brought that same shit up last week.
What are friends for?
And I'm
man?
like, holy fuck, like, guys, like,
well, it was also the other time in Philly when we went to the Guar concert.
what did I do then?
And
Because I don't remember.
we got lost.
Laura Spangler said Bob will go down an alley, but not the woods.
No, I will go in the woods. I'm the most going in the woods ass motherfucker you ever met.
Now,
She said so.
Now-
Jimmy
I
was
told you I
sensitive.
do shit that's not characteristic.
what happened? You talking about when we were trying to
So,
find?
all right, so we got lost in Philly after the Guar concert. Our phones were dead.
'Cause we were
from
trying
us
to get back
recording.
where I
We were
dropped
just
my-
trying
Y'all
to
come
get.
back from Guar though. That's
my
all.
ex.
Well, we weren't
So
trying
you're
to
on a
necessarily,
high.
but we weren't trying to come back to Baltimore. That would have been easy. We were trying to get to where his ex was at the time, or his boyfriend at the time was at his brother's house, and we were trying to get back there, pick him up so we could leave. But our phones were dead. We didn't have GPS. Random fucking city. So like I remember like we had just pulled over or some shit and there was like a cop car and I was like, bro, ask the cop for the directions or whatever. But before that, it was like this corner store or whatever. And it was a lot of folks just hanging outside the corner store. You know, the inner city corner stores where folks are just, that's the hangout spot.
Yeah.
Like you can just take your ass home though.
I
Small towns, too. Small towns, people love the corner stores.
don't remember this.
And I was like, bro, we can just go in that corner store right there, ask for directions. He was like, nope, I'm not stopping there. And I'm like, okay.
yeah,
I'm like, well, I can't. If he would have stopped, I would have went. But he was like, nope, I'm not stopping there. So eventually we got like a cop that gave us directions. I don't even think we fucking paid attention to the directions, but we did get to where we needed to go.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't
But
remember
then
that.
we had to get gas. And it was a gas station, and there were 2 cop cars sitting in the gas station lot. And he's like, I don't know about this gas station, bro. I feel like I'm going to go in there and get the gas and get shot. And I'm like, the cops are right there.
I think they're going to be the ones
But listen,
shooting.
I'm about to say, with 2020 knowledge, they would have been like, you getting gas? Stop resisting! Pat, 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 pat! Like, oh, shit. Like, what am I resisting? I'm just getting gas.
Yeah,
I remember
I
one
don't
of my first
remember
times
that.
downtown Baltimore. I was walking. It was me, Larry, Stefan. You might have been there, but we were walking down the block, and there was a 7-Eleven on the block. And I guess the block was hot. The block is hot. That song was like hot at the time. And Stefan walked up to the cop that was standing outside of 7-Eleven, and Stefan was like, "Hey man, is the cop hot? Is the block hot?" And the cop was like, "Yeah, the block's hot, man. Somebody just got stabbed in the 7-Eleven right over here." And Stefan was like, you just see his body language just drop like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He was not happy.
I just thought you were going to sing the song with Mr.
I thought
Officer.
you were gonna sing it with
You
me.
didn't have to give me that bad news. I really wanted a taquito, and now
so sad.
I'm not going in there. Like,
Nope, not going into that 7-Eleven.
but see, like, my thing is, there's always, like, a danger around. Like, I live in Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. I've never been, like, in the streets where they was just shooting. You know what I mean? I haven't been there, but I know there's just always an ever-present threat in really any city.
Sure.
But, so I just don't let it...
That's why, like, today, see, that was, again, I'm 31 years old now, and I've had many, many years in this city now, and I've been all over the fucking city. I've been in the best parts of Baltimore, and I've been in the worst. And even where my...
Uber will take you there.
Even where my studio is, which you know it's off West Franklin, and that's not the best area at all, because every night there's choppers with the spotlights, or you hear the gunshots, you hear the sirens on a nightly basis, and we're kind of closed in. We're like in the back, and there's buildings all around us. There's a gated fence. Like, we're closed in. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
Off on your own.
you know, but when you got to drive through where you got to drive through to get there, it just feels like another world. And these days, I don't look at it in, like, it was never fear. It was maybe I might have been a little nervous because here I am, young white dude
You've
in
never been in the city
the
before.
wrong part of town, not used to coming down here. Somebody's gonna fuck with me, or I don't have nothing to defend myself with. If there's 8 of them trying to get, 'cause there's never one. There's always like 10 of them.
You just gotta...
So it's like, you know, you don't know how to. But now I look, and I'm not trying to like stop your point. I'm just trying to say, like, now I look at it more of like shame. Like, I feel bad because, like, I'll be going through these places and I'm seeing this shit, and I'm like, damn, like, this is horrible. Like, the fuck happened down here? The bomb go off and they just never recovered? Like, the buildings are just dilapidated and just horrible. Everybody's just hanging out every fucking where and just, you know, busted up windows on cars and tires. It's like, where am I? Like, I genuinely am like, this shit is fucking sad.
And these are cars that are outside.
yeah, pretty much. They
No, my
don't
thing
put it
is-
past one of them, but
If it's 8 of them, same thing, bro. Gotta take that ass up.
brother, I'm not scared of getting my ass
One of
kicked.
them is getting the shit bit out of them. Like,
Oh yeah,
like,
because
they're
I'm a lock on to one, and then the rest of them are just gonna be doing all this, and
But
I'm
his,
just gonna have
but his
that one.
homeboy is gonna be irreparably scarred
Yes.
for life.
Oh yeah, and I'm not
He'll
scared.
remember you.
Yeah, I'm not scared of
gonna
getting in
remember you.
fights. I'm not scared of getting anything like that. I'm just
But
saying,
if you
like,
can avoid it.
nowadays,
Right.
when I go through these places, whether it's for work or whether it's for my band, it's just more shame than like anything at this point. I'm just like, this is terrible. Like,
My thing is,
what the fuck happened? Like, Baltimore used to be such a beautiful city.
I got, and
it still
Ron
is,
said that Uber will take you to the worst parts, and it will. And I think like Uber was
Or booty.
but Uber, well, yeah.
Booty will take you to some bad parts.
But I
too.
can get the booty. All I'm doing is getting the booty and getting it out.
Been in Baltimore for a while. Huh?
I know what he's talking
been
about.
living in
He's told
Baltimore.
me.
Well,
Or not told me. He's been with me.
Sounds
To,
like experience.
yes.
So, yeah. Okay.
I've went to go get
You've
some
been living
booty.
in Baltimore for a while then.
But like Uber had me like parking and stopping in places where it's like I might get shot here, but I want to take a break. I'm not wasting the gas to drive somewhere else. I'm stopping right here, and whatever happens, happens. Because you got to think, most times when shit goes down, it is like wrong place at the wrong time.
Right, usually.
It's like somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with that person, but most people don't want to bother anybody. I say that all the fucking time. So it's like a risk you take, but it's like I know I'm not bothering nobody. I'm just sitting here on this random West Baltimore Street at 3:00 in the morning, just chilling.
Like, I remember.
Chase somebody.
I'm surprised Bob hasn't brought this up. He talks about the Philly bullshit all the time, which I think they overplay that. But I like the situation. But like,
Let's see if this jogs my memory.
but like, no. It's about the West Baltimore piece of ass that I had.
Oh.
And I remember one time I was done with the ass, used and abused it, and then I asked Bob.
Keep going, Jimmy.
I asked Bob. I said, Bob, I got to take this son of a bitch back home. You mind? Because this is when you lived in Cockeysville, and I was like,
Both live in Cockeysville?
we were both. That was because it was a short period of time where we both still lived here before you moved away. But I was like, can you ride with me to just keep me company? You know what I mean? Like that's a rough area. Like and it was late at night, and I was just like, I don't want to go by myself. Wasn't scared. I don't know if scared was the word, but I didn't want to go by myself.
Apprehensive.
I just, you know what I mean? I just didn't want to go. And Bob was like, I got you, dog. And I went, because we were right down the street. So I went, swung by and picked him up. And we drove down. And then Bob was like, oh, shit. Because I think you told me you thought you knew where I was going. And then you were like,
I had this sneaking suspicion.
and then you were like, oh, you're coming to this street. Like, I thought it was, you're coming to this. Oh, I'm glad I came with you, Monica.
Were you playing it
I'm
up,
glad
or were
I
you-
came with you.
No, well, the funny
'Cause you
part
knew
is,
someone that lived-
I was just like, where Jimmy dropped this dude off, I was banging this chick that literally lived, like, we were on the main street. He turned off the street to drop the dude off. The chick I was talking to was right there on that street. Like, they were a hop away from each other. And I was like, yeah, there's some good ass in this area.
But you may get shot trying to get it.
I'm like, you might
That's a quote of the week.
you might get
There's some
shot
good
picking
ass
it
in
up or
this
dropping it
area.
off. But her girl was a
So see,
she was a good time.
and I have no complaints on my end either. But I think so. He can vouch for
It was
me
just
that
so funny
it was
that
just a
they
rough
were-
part of town.
But I'm so used to it now. But yeah, it's a
Right.
If my car broke down and I had to walk, I would be like, "Fuck, damn, they done got me. I'm about to take this risk."
No, I
don't-
would call like Ron or somebody. Or,
I don't mind driving through.
Ron.
Hopefully, the ass Jimmy gets now is classier. LOL.
It's not. It's not.
That's on YouTube.
Okay.
Jimmy don't know about classy ass.
That's our old friend Laura Spangler.
Nah,
a good
like
one.
yeah, that was a
That's
good
a
little.
good
I'm trying to think of the name of the street.
I can't remember
But,
the name of the
Was it
fucking
MLK
street.
Boulevard?
It was over in West
cliche.
Baltimore or
It
somewhere.
was-
But it was one of those like side streets. You had the
Well,
main
it's a
street.
main street,
There's a
but
main
it's not
street, and then
like-
we turned off that street to get on a side street to get this dilapidated fucking row homes. Or
Either
whatever.
way, that was a. Those are fun fucking times, man.
Because I went back for that ass a couple of different times, so it was.
So they brought you back.
It damn sure did. The product was good, but but no, I mean, just like that's the thing, dude. It's like sometimes you kind of get that uneasy feeling. Like I remember I was going to band practice on. I had to pass by Edmondson and.
That's what street it was, Edmondson Avenue.
Okay, Edmondson Avenue. Oh yeah, because I passed by, and this was on the news a couple weeks ago, where the cop stopped somebody, and the guy started shooting out his window at the cop. So the cop started shooting back, and then it's like a bunch of shit happened, and the guy that they was shooting out the window, he had already shot somebody. and they were laying in the street.
You saw that?
I
them
saw
laying in the
I saw
street.
the aftermath.
I'm
You saw them laying
sorry
in the
for-
street.
I didn't see the guy. I saw there about 30 cop cars on that street, and the street was
gotcha,
blocked
gotcha,
off,
yeah.
and they had the chopper around. I'm going to band practice, and my band studio is literally like a block away from that.
Right.
So I passed by that, but then I saw it on the news, the same shit, and I was like, oh, that's what happened. Like, the guy shot somebody, cops were called, the guy's in his car that shot the dude, cops stop him, guy starts shooting out his window, cops start shooting at him, it's a whole thing.
Can I say,
So I was like, oh, that's what I passed earlier. Like,
I've never understood, like, all right, so you shot somebody, whether they're dead or not, chances are they're dead, but when the cops show up, you're shooting at them, like, do you want to die, or like, because you're not going to get
yeah,
away.
you're not going to win that one.
Yeah, you're not winning that one.
So it's like, what are you're just adding more time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Every
It-
bullet's 20 more years. You
So
know what
it's
I mean?
like-
You're just adding time on.
If you want to get shot and kill, that's okay.
Yeah, like what's that? That's called something when
That's-
you're trying to get a cop to kill
Caught
you.
by suicide?
Or suicide
Yeah,
by cop.
suicide.
That's a thing.
The suicide.
Yeah, that's a real thing. People deliberately try to get the cops to kill them.
like that. I don't know how. It used to be for like insurance purposes and shit, but I don't know if they've smartened up. But that's definitely a thing. But it's just like
I think at that point you just don't care.
you're not
You're like,
trying.
fuck
Like
this-
you
fuck
can't
this
be
guy.
trying to get away. Is my thing. Like you know you're going down.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
right.
If that's what you want, man, cool. But me, like I don't know what caused you to shoot the first person, right? But I'm a damn sure trying my best to like get out of that.
Get out of that. What,
Like-
go. Just
One,
go.
like even if I'm running and you guys catch me eventually, like yeah, it was self defense or, you know, like I'm gonna be honest. Unless you know, like if you just murked him because okay, I remember you stepped in my shoes 3 weeks ago. Then yeah, then you deserve to go to jail. But if it's like self defense, I'm gonna explain that shit.
It was
I know that's
3 weeks
I know that's
ago.
not gonna work.
It was 3 weeks ago. He stepped on
Hey,
your shoes,
never-
and you're still hot about
Never
that shit.
That's the
underestimate
Penn
the
State
power
type shit right
of
there.
Apparently,
Never underestimate the power of a grudge, bro. I remember everything that's been done to me, and I'm a exact revenge within reason. I'm not gonna shoot you, but I will have my revenge. It's
is that like a threat? I feel like do you have something on me right now like, that you remember I did?
You'll find out.
We'll find out. Damn.
I guess I gotta
Keep the
sleep
mystery out there.
sleep
I'd rather
with
you
one
say
eye
we'll
open.
find out because now
But-
now I want to know what's going to happen next episode.
But you were talking about fuck, what were you talking about before you got to that? I don't remember. It's just that I feel like Baltimore gets a bad rap. And like there's people that don't live here, and the only thing they know about here is
Well, it's 'cause
either the
that's what
gun
the news
violence,
puts out.
right?
Well, that's what
either
the news
gun
puts out.
violence or the drug use.
But that's everywhere. I mean, we are always on the top 10 list for some bullshit.
And
you
that's
know what
why
I mean?
when I went to-
But there's all like Denver, Chicago, fucking St. Louis. My God,
Denver? Really? I didn't know about Denver.
St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
Well, I don't know
It-
specifically.
I don't know what the
I just
difference
know
is. I've
St.
never
Louis
been
can,
to St.
can
Louis,
go off.
but
You know what I mean? Memphis. That's Memphis is bad.
Memphis
is really
Memphis,
bad.
New Orleans, Chicago,
Yeah, New
East
Orleans.
St. Louis here. What else? Apparently Gary, Indiana. You don't want to fuck around in Gary, Indiana.
That's such a
Apparently-
random place,
Gary,
dude.
Indiana.
Apparently, it's
Indiana.
just like you would not think Gary, Indiana, but I have watched videos and read shit, and I'm like, damn. And it's more like it's almost like they're crazy though. Like somebody was like, yeah, I was just driving down the street, and dude was just walking down the street in broad daylight with his AK-47, not like trying to shoot nobody, but not like how the people that are at the rallies with their automatic. Like, no, this guy probably shouldn't have had his AK-47, and he gave no fucks that he had his shit. And I'm like, oh, Gary's like that. And I told you, like, the one video was reading, like, reviews, and it was talking about, like, a dude stopped at a stop sign and kept going, and a cop was following him. He get on the highway, cop pulled him over after they passed a few exits, and he's like, why is this cop still following me? Did I run that stop sign? He would have been pulled me over. So the cop stopped him, came up to his window, and was like, hey, do you know where you are? And he was like, not really, I'm a little bit lost. Did I run that stop sign? He was like, no, but you should. He was like, it's in your best interest not to stop at these stop signs. if you come to a red light, do a little roll and stop, but do not stop. And this is coming from a cop, and I'm like, God damn, Gary, Indiana, they not fucking around.
He said, a cop said,
the cop was like,
roll and stop and go.
Roll and stop and keep it moving, bro. You do not want to do. I don't know how long you should stop at a stop sign because I don't fucking do it that long. But whatever it is, he was like, don't do it. Don't do that shit. If it's 5 seconds, you make sure there's nobody coming, and then you peel off, nigga. Like
just get out.
This is Gary, Indiana. And I'm like, I didn't know y'all
Jimmy,
would.
just tell Bob that you saw Frankenstein in his house, and Bob will leave you alone.
I'm not afraid of him no more. I bust Frankenstein shit. I'm probably fucking taller than Boris Karloff. Fuck him.
And Cleveland and Boston suck, said Laura over there on YouTube.
And I know that.
Amora said that Indiana is interesting. She's
believe
from Illinois, so she's close.
Yeah, so you're right there.
Yeah,
You're,
she's right. She's close enough. You know enough. Maybe you got some stories for us, Amora.
ain't the people in Illinois like the kids in Chicago? Don't they go to fucking Indiana to get their fucking guns?
Probably. Probably.
God, man, I
Yeah,
hear
because
horror,
Chicago has all the strict gun laws,
Right.
but
I hear so many horror stories about, like, honestly, like when the woman, my friend, told me about New Orleans before we went there, and she was like, "Be careful" and all that shit. I was like, excuse me. I was like, I'm not putting all that on fucking New Orleans. Like, I'm from Baltimore. But I am reasonably afraid of Chicago. Like, they make Chicago seem like
Hang on.
worse than Baltimore.
I just
the
want to
worst
see
place ever.
because
I want to go, though. But they do make Chicago. Like, I picked up a woman in Uber. It was a white woman. And she was like, we were just on the freeway one day and the fireworks started popping off, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn. Like, shit, at least like here, you know what it is. It's like gang violence or drug related, but it's usually targeted. Like, yes, people that have nothing to do with it get got sometimes, but it's usually not the target.
Right.
But like Chicago, it just makes it seem like
it happens all
we just having fun over here. Like, like this is what we
fun.
do. And I'm sorry, it's Amora, right? That's from there.
Yeah.
I am not trying to disparage Chicago. I still want to go to Chicago. It's just that Chicago puts a little bit of fear in me, if I'm being honest. What are you about to look up?
I looked up Gary, Indiana, and it says one of the things, is it safe to visit? I would love to just drop this down, and it's like, no. The city of Gary, Indiana is an abandoned, desolate place and one of the most dangerous towns in the U.S. The city of Gary, Indiana is okay, this literally just repeats the exact same thing twice.
Like, apparently, like, a lot of serial killers dump there. Because it is just
Gary, Indiana is a small industrial city just 30 miles outside of Chicago. It's a city that used to be a thriving, bustling community, but now an estimated 6,000 of the 6,500 of the 7,000 properties that make up the place have been abandoned. So that's 6,500 out of 7,000 have been abandoned. The city streets are now a hotbed of criminality.
Well, yeah, that's what you get if everybody kicked out of the property.
Yeah, over the past 3 years, some 80% of jobs in Gary have disappeared. The U.S.'s declining steel industry is most obvious explanation as to why. So I guess it used to be a big
it's in that
steel.
part.
Okay, yeah.
And Amora popped back and said that shootings on the expressway always happen.
Yeah, that's why.
I guess that's like normal shit.
Like, it doesn't happen here.
That don't happen here. Yeah, that's not a here thing. You kind of gotta go inside a little bit.
This is kind of what Bob was just saying. The town of Gary is now also infamous for actions of depraved serial killer Darren Dion Vaughn, who hid the bodies.
Dion Vaughn?
Yeah, Darren Dion
They always
Vaughn.
got three names.
Who hid the bodies of his 7 female victims in the derelict buildings that populated the city. Derelict?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Over the years, there have been endless proposals of ways to improve Gary, to make it once more a city that lives and breathes. Back in Donald Trump. Oh, wait a minute. Back in 1993, Donald Trump himself drew up plans to open a casino here, and then that fucking went belly up.
Oh, it's Donald Trump. He's not known to
There's
be
a-
successful.
There's a
And
lot
Amora said,
of-
nope, that's why
my
I want to
God.
move away from Chicago. That's a pretty good reason to want to move away
I
from
mean,
Chicago.
There's good reasons to go to Chicago. I would live there just for the pizza.
For the deep dish.
That's it. And I'd be 800 pounds and I'd give up, but at least I'd have
you
that
can't run
pizza.
from bullets at 800 pounds.
And Murray Odom said, there is parts in Detroit you want to stay away from.
But see, yeah, when we think about Detroit, I don't think about violence. I just think about it as a failed city in terms of like industry and like real estate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially real estate.
it probably was a point where it
Bustling.
might have been
Right.
like
But
one of
people
the
have to have
top
jobs
cities.
for the real estate to be.
Well, I mean, like in terms of crime, I wouldn't put
yeah,
it past it at some point. You don't really hear about that now.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, those five, like Chicago, Eastern St. Louis, Memphis, Maryland, not Maryland, whole different state from
Baltimore.
Baltimore and New Orleans. You hear about that, and
You know what's funny? Living up in Baltimore as much and going downtown as much as we did, I never heard too many like gunshots. I heard them in Florida. But whenever I first moved to Ybor City, the very first night that I was out,
Is that in Florida?
Yeah, that's where we
Ybor
went.
City, that's Tampa.
That's where we were at Tampa. Well,
Yeah.
that's where I went when
And-
you were with your
and-
mother,
and
I
shit
had to
popped
get away
off.
from the fucking coffer.
guns
But,
went off, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I drove to Ybor just to get out of the fucking hotel,
Ooh.
and there were no gunshots, but it was definitely
Potential?
It was definitely a characteristic place
Potential for
to
yeah,
say
yeah.
the least. But I'm not afraid of it. I mean,
But I saw the news. No, I wasn't either. I just was. It is what it is.
Right.
I saw the news the next day, and it turns out that there was a guy beating his wife, and a dude walked up and was like, "Oh no, we ain't having that," and just
shot the
fucking
wife.
No, shot the wife.
Man, you doing too much, dog. I got this shit.
Bro, I got you, yo. Stop beating that
Bro,
girl.
you doing way too much.
Stop beating that girl ass. Clearly, she ain't getting the point. Domestic violence is not funny. I'm just an asshole. Disclaimer. I'm sorry.
But no, the dude walked up and shot the dude. He shot the dude. It was, and it was done. It
Was he
done.
dead?
I guess. Yeah, he was done. He
See,
was dead.
and I'm glad he's dead because if he had lived, Shorty probably still would have been with
She
him.
probably would have been with
She'd
him.
have been like,
Yep, she
I
would've
don't
still
know
been
why he shot. Like, I hate that, and I get it.
Got
I
that
get
good
that
dick.
there's a
Got that good
well,
dick.
there's a
a deep
psychological
connection.
reason
Deep
for
connection.
it, but I hate it so much.
Yeah, I got you. I was about to say it, but I didn't want to cut him off.
I hate it so much. Like if you try to help somebody that's getting abused, they gotta help themselves. They gotta be ready to leave, or you can't just help them, and that's fucking shitty, man.
And then Shamala said, outside my college in Chicago, near a Starbucks, there was one gunshot. There was a shooting. And then, what did Amora say? Amora said, I'd have
Outside the
oh,
Starbucks?
Right after that. Yep, right outside of the Starbucks.
Damn, that's why they build the Starbucks. The quality fucking shootings.
That don't work.
I know.
sometimes,
See,
right? That shit
normally,
don't work sometimes.
No. That's funny because I judge what areas I'm in based on if they have Starbucks or not. That's a real thing.
Well, it's
Because I'm
gentrification.
like, wait
My
a
hometown
second.
Still don't have a Starbucks.
I'm like, okay, there's a Starbucks here. All right, I'm good.
But also, my senior
this place
year,
is all right.
a dude killed his dad
At a
tied him up,
Starbucks.
hog-tied him, and dragged him around
Town.
around town.
Dragged him around the
behind
Starbucks.
his truck. He just took his truck and just drove him around town.
And
And,
in
that
my-
dude was in my home
Listen,
room.
I feel like the town.
Ooh,
like I don't know how
shit.
big your town is, but I feel like the cops just let it happen for a while. They were
Probably, man.
They were like,
Probably.
God damn it, Earl, are you done yet? Earl, we got other people to fucking
Are you done
arrest.
killing your father? We know he's been beating your ass. We saw this coming.
He's already dead. Let me get the rest of my anger out. Like, woo! He's
I gotta be in jail
He's
anyway.
just
Let me
driving
finish
around the fountain in town square and just like,
He's playing like he's fucking he's
fuck you, Dad. You
he's
piece
fucking
of-
playing like Slayer or something, you know.
And then after the song, he's like, one more song.
Amora,
One more song.
Amora, our Chicago correspondent, said most stuff happens at Starbucks here. So you're fucked.
That's
Jimmy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Chicago's supposed to be the safe point.
Jimmy with the
That's where you stop and save the game, dude. Like that's the safe
Hey,
point.
Not
reverse
tonight,
psychology.
Kazraya.
The
We
shit
have,
out of y'all white
we're
people.
We're talking. I
You
don't
know, more people than white people go to fucking. I'm not gonna stand.
They
for
build
your
it for
stupid
y'all
ass-
though.
No,
They
y'all.
build it for y'all.
It's y'all.
They don't put them in the hood for good reason.
Because none of you guys are going there.
For exact. So how you gonna get mad at me
I'm saying,
for agreeing agreeing with
black
me.
people work there. Asians work
terrible.
there. Hispanics
That's
work
a
there.
fucking job.
And they all go there and drink coffee. Coffee's for everybody.
I don't go to no damn Starbucks.
Because you
unless I'm
don't
picking
like
up an order.
Starbucks.
You're gonna make me fucking go horse again.
How you gonna be mad at me and then agree with me?
Okay, good.
How you gonna be mad at me and then
agree.
with me?
But that's the thing. They're not putting a Starbucks in fucking on fucking West Franklin
I'm
Street.
saying
They're not doing it.
that's a form of gentrification. So that's what I mean, like
Yeah,
reverse
yeah, yeah,
psychology,
yeah.
y'all. Like they be like, oh, these people
Definitely.
think this Starbucks safe. Like, oh shit.
Oh my god.
We'll see how safe it is now.
Wow, man.
You're gonna think, yes, can I have a venti
shit.
caramel frappe?
My belly hurts. I didn't know I got this good of an ab workout again.
Oh,
These
man.
podcasts recently have been giving me a good ab workout, man.
happened to the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
show?
I remember 35th Street in Chicago. After 35th Street, it was scary to walk alone. Well, yeah.
Dude, that's how cities are. Like, it'll be like one street, amazing, beautiful. You make a left at a stop sign, World War fucking 8. Like, it's just
That's
whole
Baltimore.
nother-
But the
that's what I'm
reason why
saying.
it's like
That's
that
what
in
I meant.
Baltimore because apparently Baltimore was one of the first cities that actually did the I don't want to say segregation, but like housing for white people, housing for black
They
people.
did, but
and
yeah,
that's
they had
why
the
you can
contract.
just see it.
Yeah.
Like you can literally,
because those buildings are still there.
if you ever come to Baltimore, people, you will be in the hood for 3 blocks, and then you'll be in a really nice neighborhood, and then you'll be back in the hood, and it's just
Real
like,
quick, right.
like how did that happen? Because that's
And it's weird because they
right.
don't cross over.
because you'll notice,
You
like,
know?
all right, if you drive up York Road or Greenmount before it's York Road, still the
Yeah.
same street.
Yeah.
You'll notice that they'll have these nice ass houses on the left, and they're one-way streets coming out. So you can't accidentally turn, like Mook Mook can't accidentally
it
turn.
was designed that way.
Right, it was designed that way. And it's fucked up, but yeah, it's designed that way. You could clearly walk it, but you can't just drive
it, yeah.
unless you're just going to go down the wrong way. But it's designed that way, and probably since like the 50s and shit.
And Shamala said Chicago is not that bad also. You can go downtown to Starbucks.
Until I get there.
Amora. I think you
that's-
might
No,
need to.
that was Shamala. not
Yeah, but
Amora.
I think Amora needs to come in. Is she from Chicago too, Shy? I thought is Shy here? Or is she where's
Guy's there too.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
No,
they're both.
she was in Chicago.
Oh, she was in
school-
Chicago.
school
Okay,
in Chicago,
I got
yeah.
confused.
How come everybody's like OMG Bob and Oh Bob? All I did was help out the domestic abuser that, saved him some sweat. So,
I help out the domestic abuse.
Fucking Wanda, you fucking cunt,
What
you
is-
fucking stupid bitch. Whoa. What?
And
whoa,
Laura-
man, whoa.
Laura said,
What?
shit, I want to come to Baltimore just to have a fire at Ron's aunt's house. Don't everybody?
It's a
Those fires at
nice
Aunt
ass
Rhonda's
fire.
house are the best, ain't they?
They are fun.
They're the best, man. They're the best. So we got about 20 more minutes. So let's just keep going.
Are
with
you
this,
sure?
'cause this is
Are
a
you
good
sure you want to do
conversation.
20 minutes?
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
because
at 1:50 now.
we're having a
baby.
good.
Do you guys want us to keep going? We're going to keep going.
How much are we
In
in?
10 minutes.
And I was gonna. So I did mention we were going to talk about this. We should talk about this story. And Josh Miller, my old friend from Florida, he came up here and he said the first time I met this Bob guy, he got us kicked out of the club. Gangsta.
Oh, he
shit.
came up there.
Gangsta shit.
He was
Yeah,
up there?
Josh was with us. He was the white guy. He came and lived with me for a little bit.
For
It was
some
like
reason,
for a
I
few
thought that
months.
was Waylon that came up.
Waylon came up too. Me, you, and Waylon went downtown and we hung out. But Josh was down here like probably
Yeah, I
earlier than
know
that.
that. Hold
It was
up,
probably earlier
hold
than
up.
that.
When Waylon was up here, I was fucked up.
You were everywhere that night, man. You were going crazy.
I ran into this girl I used to work with. She was fucking gorgeous, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to have shots with me?" So I bought shots of tequila with her, and I think she had like 2 friends, and I maybe had like 2 or 3. And I was with Ron and Larry and them. Mm-hmm. And then we broke apart from the girls, and we were walking around, and we got to this one bar, and I don't remember if I ordered a drink, but I gave them my ID and my card. I must have ordered something. And I was like, bro, I really want to fucking go. I want to go. I want to smoke. I want a fucking cigarette. Because, when I drink,
just
I
have
want a
to-
fucking
you wanna have
cigarette.
it, right.
And it compounds it. But
What
I
is
was,
it that about it does? Does it like just amplify the buzz?
I get fucked up. It's like I get.
It's something about, because like back when I used to smoke cigarettes, like, and plus I was a menthol smoker, and something about that menthol sensation, like when you're fucked up, cigarettes are just, oh my goodness, like it just.
So I got a cigar. It was my first time ever having a cigar. Found the 7-Eleven. I remember being so drunk on the streets, not having any of my friends with me because they're probably not even knowing I'm not in the bar anymore. But I'm just like, hey man, you know where I can get a cigarette? You know where I can? And they're like, it's a 7-Eleven down there. And in my mind, it took me forever to get to that fucking 7-Eleven, man. Like I felt like I kept asking every person. Like I would stop and ask you, hey man, you know where I can get some cigarettes? And you're like, it's a 7-Eleven. Then I would walk them on the same distance.
Same thing.
I'm like, hey man, I heard that was a 7-Eleven down this way. I was Jimmy, I was fucked up, bro. So I finally got my cigar, and in my mind, it was like 12 or something at night, right? So I'm just literally out by the water, right down there at fucking Fells. I'm just right by or Canton, really. And I'm right at the water. I'm just smoking my cigar, and it's just fucking me up more, right? And then I just see all these people on the streets, and I see Larry and them, and they're like, hey, man, that's where you are? And I'm like, yeah, I've been here for a while. He was like, oh, it's time to go. I was like, oh, shit, man. They got my fucking shit at the fucking bar. So I went up, and the bouncer's like, hey, man, we're closed. I was like, yeah, I know, but my shit's in there. I just need to close my tab. And so I just went in and closed my tab. I don't even remember ordering anything in that bar, but I was super fucked up that night. But yes, you said Josh was your friend's name?
Yep, Josh. Yep.
I got us kicked out of Iguana Cantina, man. I will never forget that shit.
And I was a willing participant because I just turned 21.
I was the one that
You were
fucked it
20?
up, though, yeah.
So how did that happen?
So it was like 13 of us that night.
There was a lot of us
And
in
we-
a
in a little ass
Toyota Corolla.
Toyota Corolla. And I think
Larry's big
Stefan
ass,
was
you're
like the
big ass.
smallest person.
And he has a big ass.
And all of us, everybody's 6 foot except for Stefan.
Yep. It was ridiculous.
And yeah, I wasn't old enough to drink, but I wanted to drink. And like nobody else drank. But Ron was like, I'm old enough. He has a little wrist. And I was like, all right.
I didn't even drink.
Right. Nobody. I was the only one.
Yep.
And so he went and got me one drink. And I drank it. And I was like, hey, Ron, I want another drink. And my dumb ass followed him to the bar.
And waited.
And like, well, it's not that so much that I waited. It's just that by the time you got it and turned around, I was right there. So somebody saw you give it to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a wristband.
Yep.
So like we went back to where we were where the whole posse was. And dude, one of the bouncers was like, hey man,
Gotta go.
you gotta get out. And I'm like, hey, I'm like, what's up? He was like, you're not supposed to be drinking. You gotta go. And then he was like, you gotta go too.
Yep.
And
like,
so
wow.
we didn't resist. We were like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. But we were deep. And so I was like, hey yo, we getting kicked out.
Everybody went.
So Larry and it was like, well, I guess we all getting kicked out.
Yep.
And we just
but on our way out, how did you play it off though? How did you play it off?
I don't even
though?
remember. Elaborate for me.
So you, as we were walking out, you were like, "Yeah, we whooped the fuck out of them motherfuckers. They got us kicked out. We beat the shit out of them." And then me and Josh looked back at you and we were like, "Yeah, fuck those motherfuckers. They kicked us out because we whooped those motherfuckers' ass. Fuck those motherfuckers." And then we were just like, people were just looking at us like, "Damn, they just got in a big ass."
And the
fucking
fucked up
brawl."
part is
there was a lot. There was like 10 of us, dude.
And
There was like fucking 10 of us.
all of us were meaty fellows, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but when Bob started doing that, we all were like, that's it, Bob. That's fuck. We didn't get kicked out for no dumb shit,
Right.
me handing you a drink. No, we whooped somebody's ass. And then we went home happy. And then
I
we
never-
found that drunk guy.
Right, before we got home, we were trying to find the car. There was this drunk guy, fucked up.
I got that video somewhere in my DVD.
And Larry, being Larry, was just talking to the dude. Nothing inappropriate happened.
Nope, just
but he's
talking.
just fucking talking to the dude.
Entertaining.
And like, we're like, you need help finding your car. I don't know what the dude was trying to do. Because like he was fucked up, he could not speak clearly. But we're taking
At
pictures with this nigga. We're like, yeah, like we. Like,
The pictures are probably on Facebook. If you go deep into our Facebooks,
was
you'll
it
probably
Facebook
find
though,
it.
or was it MySpace? Because that was a long time ago.
I don't even know, honestly. It might have been.
All right. Well, you know what? For the sake of this conversation, keep it rolling. I'm gonna do some digging.
But yeah, that was a good night. Like we didn't do nothing to the dude. Like it was just fucking
super
humorous to us.
He was super drunk, but by himself. He
Right.
didn't have
Yeah,
any
that was
friends.
super weird.
We had no idea where this guy
That
came. He was
was the-
walking like a zombie.
Well, the fucked up
He
part
was
is
he was
I was
walking
probably
sideways.
that same way though. That
He
time.
probably were.
Anytime you gotta stop every 3 feet and ask motherfuckers where the 7-Eleven is that you're going to, that's not even fucking 50 feet
You're
away.
fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked.
That was
See?
the most I've ever been drunk in public, bro. Like at a bar.
Yeah.
I never got kicked out of Iguana. I remember going there, and I remember because they used to have the wristbands if you were 21.
It was like Thursday,
and
all
they
you
would
could drink or some
they
shit.
would give you the wristbands. But what people would do when they left was just rip them off and throw them on the ground. So me and my friends would just casually walk around. We didn't act like we were creeps or we would just walk around casually till we found those fucking wristbands, and we had glue. And we would glue those motherfuckers on our wrists and just stroll up in there and for that night, because they had different colors, I think.
Different weeks, yeah.
Yeah, for different weeks. So for that night, though, we were there. That was the night, and people would come out, and we'd get in there. And the only time I almost got caught was the bartender. I had my wristband on, but I don't know why I remember this so clearly. She looked at me, and she's like, "You got that at the door?" And I was like, "Got what?" And she was like, "Your wristband." And I was like, "Yeah, well, why else would I have it on?" And she's like, "What do you want?" And I told her what I wanted, like a drink or whatever. She goes, "All right, hold on." And she went in the back. The drink's right fucking there, bitch.
Right.
She goes in the back, and I'm like, "Oh, you ain't getting me." So I told my friends, I was like, "Let's go for a minute. Like, we don't have to leave for the night, but let's go for a minute because I feel like we got some heat in here." I was like, "We need to go." And then I saw two guys come out with her, big dudes, and I'm like, "Yeah, we gotta go."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Fuck it." We left. We didn't get kicked out, but we left because I don't know what tipped her off. You know what I mean? Because if I have the wristband on, that means they carded me at the door and I'm 21.
Right.
I got, even though, I mean, that wasn't the case, obviously, but if I have the
still
wristband
right.
on to you, you're the bartender. That's why we have wristbands, so you can see. You don't have to ask us. You know we're 21.
Exactly.
So I don't know, but that was, dude, we used to go there all the time.
I was really good at getting the wristbands off without ripping them. And I could put them, like, I'd see what color it was, and if I had it on me, I'd put it on. But I also had a fake ID at one point.
See, I never had a fake ID. I remember talking to people, and they were going to get me one and shit like that, but I never ended up getting one.
Yeah, I had a fake ID. But, like, back then, I was the only one that drank. Like I said, Rick and Ron and Larry didn't drink. I don't remember Stefan.
I just supplied. I was just a good supplier.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, that year, like, I told Jimmy, I was talking to Jimmy about this other day when I was, like, 19, 20. I'm surprised I survived. Like, I drank
glad you did.
a lot. From, like, the years of 18 to 20, I consumed a lot of alcohol. And I had a good time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you say you're glad you survived just because you drank a lot of alcohol, like, did you get yourself in some situations because of the alcohol?
I'm
Or do you
just
think
the
alcohol's
amount
gonna
of
kill you?
alcohol that I consumed in those 2 years. Jimmy.
I consume a lot of alcohol now.
No, Jimmy. It was like
I'm just saying.
It
I
was
do.
like-
an animal back then.
it was like alcohol was going out of style, and I had to have it. I had to have it before Prohibition started up
I
again.
like long hair, Ron.
Yeah.
Are you trying that again, or are you just maybe not?
I can't
No.
for work.
Oh, okay.
Once if
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw
if we
us
get
off.
if we find other means of work, I could do it.
Which we are.
We're working on it, brother.
Which we are. Sorry, I'm trying to go through your photos because
I'm going through it too. I'm trying to.
Oh, you are?
Go back there too.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure
I
that
do
it's
want
there.
to. I do want to get some good visuals for this story because it sounds like you
It's
guys
such a
had
great
one hell of a
story.
night. I miss all the nights that.
Shamla said maybe there was some entry fee that day, Jimmy. Mostly they give wristbands when they have entry fee.
That's
possible.
possible too. Yeah.
I remember the stories that you used to tell whenever Rick would. That one night Rick walked outside and he was talking about where the car was or something. Because I don't think we talk about Rick enough when it comes to drinking. Because like Rick's, and I know he's not here right now, but these aren't like shit stories. These are funny.
Oh, we're doing Spitting Games Radio at probably about 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then follow us on the live stream for the Shred Shed about 5 p.m. And then we're going to be back here at 7:30 p.m. for SVR Spitting Venom Radio with all four of us, right? Guys?
Yep. When?
Everybody's good for tomorrow. Just trying to. We're gonna nail down
I
the
got
schedule.
you.
I know everybody's asking us for a schedule. We're gonna start doing a weekly schedule because we all have normal, regular jobs. So we have to plan it ahead and figure out when we're able to get together. But when we can get together, we're gonna make it happen. So we're doing double duty tomorrow. But
Let me tell about that story about
But
Rick.
yeah, we
man.
don't talk about Rick enough when it comes to because Rick's has some drunk ass moments.
Rick, bro, man. Rick. So me and Rick.
do it while he can't defend himself.
Well, I'm not gonna sit talking.
I'm teasing.
No, these are
We got invited to a bachelor party on the strip at Club Lust, and it was also Rick's birthday. Like I got invited, and I was like, "Hey, bro, come with me." And I was like, it's supposed to be free drinks because it's a bachelor party. We get there when I was told to get there. Everybody else got there on CPT. So me and Rick were after our own devices, and we're buying drinks. We don't have cash, but we're tipping the strippers with drinks. So that's like $35 a tip. So Rick is getting white girl wasted, and but we didn't know it at first, bro.
Right.
We were everybody settles down. We're ready to go. We walk out the door. We're walking down the steps because it's like a 2-story club. That's on the bottom floor was dudes. Because when we walked in, the dude was like, "Yeah, you guys can go upstairs." And I'm like, "Well, what's in there?" And he was like, "You don't want to know what's in there." So I'm assuming it was dudes. And so we walked down the steps, and I'm the first one out the door. Rick was fine in the club. He's fine walking down the steps. He's talking normal. I guess as soon as that fresh air hit my friend, as soon as that fresh air hit him, he couldn't walk. He couldn't talk no more. He
couldn't do it.
Fucked up, man. And he was like, "Come on, man, let's walk." And we're walking, and I'm cool. Like, I don't know where he wants to go. I think he just wants to walk, man. It's still like earlier in the night. And then he's like, "Oh,
That is, I can't. That is just.
That's Baby Boy Cat.
So
Now
we gotta show Baby Boy
We
Cat.
have to show Baby Boy Cat. All right. I'm gonna get a portrait of Baby. So this is Baby Boy Cat.
If you could kind of see it, I'm gonna
If you
show
can
it in.
see- show it in that camera.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're closer. Maybe try to show it in that, and we'll see.
This is Baby Boy Cat.
Almost there. Almost. Look at that.
That is Baby Boy Cat.
tiny little fucker."
Oh
I'll
my
put a
goodness!
picture up, but that little guy. That little
is
guy
just-
he's ridiculous.
Look at those eyes.
He's a ridiculous little kitty.
Life is cuter.
I love
But,
that little man. I love that little man. What did you
But
say?
I ain't say nothing.
He's a
Good.
bitch.
But
Oh
so we're walking. Me and Rick are fucking walking, and I'm like, "Bro, we're not going to the car." He was like, "We're not trying to go to the car, man. We're just walking." I'm like, "All right, cool."
like 9.
We're walking.
He's about 10 years old. Yeah.
And I'm like,
He's
"Rick."
an old man. He's almost old man cat.
I'm like, "Rick,
Rick, what?
where are we going, bro?" He's like, "We're just going to the car." I'm like, "Man, the car's not this way. I told you that shit."
No.
And he was like, "Oh, my bad, man. My bad. Let's get something to eat." So we go into Crazy John's or
Gotta get some
whatever.
food.
And he couldn't eat his fucking food, man. He was like, he bought like a slice of pizza and some water. He was like, "I can't eat this pizza."
Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, you ain't gotta eat it, bro. Fine." So we're driving, and I missed his fucking exit.
I can't eat.
And that additional time in the car caused this motherfucker to throw up in my fucking shit. And I was like, "God damn it, man!" And we get him to his house, and he trips on his steps. Like he fucked up his shin or some shit. Like he literally went to patient first the next day. Because he was like, "Yeah, I really fucked myself up." Like, but I had to get his key out of his wallet.
That's when you know you had a good night of drinking, when you got to go to patient first the next day.
And he stopped drinking for a little while after that. He was like, "Yeah, I was done for a while." Like,
Hey, what
Well, I'm
year
trying
was
to
this
post it
vaguely?
online, but I have it in my external hard drive. I'll get those pictures later.
What was it?
5-6 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that long ago.
Kazariah said, "No, please shit talk."
No,
Oh,
No,
thank you,
and it's not shit. I mean, we just like telling stories
When
when
Rick
we were
gets
fucked
drunk,
up because
Rick gets
Bob has more than once literally carried me over his shoulders and put me in my bed physically.
Yeah.
Like has carried me to my apartment and laid me literally in my bed because I was so fucked up that there was no way anything else was going
and
to
that
happen.
night I had to do the same thing for Rick. I mean, I couldn't carry him up his steps, but I got him on his couch,
Right.
made sure he was on his stomach. I made sure he had a trash can.
And that's what good friends are for. You know what I mean? Like, I remember we went one of the last times we were at Padonia Station with that West Side piece of ass and another buddy of mine, and you were buying shots of tequila for people, and they weren't drinking
when I
them,
was drunk.
and I drank them.
I get very liberal when I'm drunk. So I was like, "Who wants to?" Oh, Rhonda was there
You
that
do
night.
do that,
And
yeah,
I was
you
like,
do
"Who
do
wants to?"
that was at Padonia
He gets
Station.
very, very liberal with
I was like,
all his, I
Who wants to
remember that.
drink? And at that point, it's got to be tequila. Like,
Yeah.
if you're like, "I'll take a shot of fucking whiskey," you don't get a shot. It's tequila or
There
nothing.
were like 3 shots that you bought the people next to us, but they didn't drink them right away, and I took them and I drank them.
And Jimmy was.
I was fucked up that night. Now you still lived here, so you
I
walked.
literally lived around the corner from the bar, so I was able to walk. I wasn't in any condition to drive.
Right.
But Jimmy's friend had to fucking get him home. Like I made sure he was in the car.
He drove.
So I made sure Frank had the keys.
Frank was there. Yep.
And Jimmy's car was in that parking lot. My car was in that parking lot.
Yeah, now-
but I lived right around the corner.
I remember too, because I don't get that way when I'm drunk. I don't forget shit. Like I don't black out or anything like that. I just get real fucked up.
Right.
And these days I don't get drunk like that. I get tipsy. I get nice and toasty, but I don't get like shit house drunk. But like that night, I remember they got me in the backseat of the car. Frank and the other dude were sitting up front. And I remember the dude, the West Side dude. I remember him. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I remember him going, "Just please don't throw up in my car." And I'm like, I'm not gonna try. You know what I mean? And I threw up everywhere
In the car?
In the car.
Those people are the worst.
It's not. I didn't do it on
I
purpose.
know that.
I
but
couldn't
it's
help
just-
it. But then I think they smelled it, and Frank goes, like, he asked, he's like, did he throw up? And Frank goes, yep, he threw up. And I felt so bad. So he got his car detailed the next day. Now, I ended up paying him for it. Like, of course, that day he paid for it. But I gave him, he was like, no, you don't have to do that. No, I'm giving you the money because I was too banged up. You went and got your car detailed. That makes total sense. I get it.
Right.
I'm going to pay you for it because it was my vomit. They were fucking vacuuming out of that bitch. But yeah, I mean, but see, and there was a night we were outside of Buffalo Wild Wings, and we kind of wouldn't call it bar hop, but
We went to like.
we went to a couple of different places. We ended up at Buffalo Wild Wings. I think was the last one because I remember racking up like an $80 tab, and I didn't know how the fuck I did it. I just wrapped up like $80 to $100 tab, and I was standing outside shitting all over the Steelers, and I remember Bob kept slapping me.
Yes.
So Bob slapped me, and I'm like, I'm drunk. I don't feel nothing. Fuck you, motherfucker.
That's my character trait. When you're drunk, I will slap the shit out.
And then
'Cause I know you can't feel it.
And then he slapped me again. But I'm like,
you can't feel
I'm like, bring it on, bitch. Like I didn't
step
give
on
a
a few
shit.
times. I know you can't feel it.
I didn't care. Like I was welcoming it. I was like, yeah, because I was so fucked up. I was in that mood where I'm like, slap me again, bro. Do it. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't give a shit. Like I was just. It wasn't like he was doing it to be mean or anything or trying to be like a bully. He was just. I was in that state and I was fucked up and
Jimmy was fucked up that night, man.
yeah, that was a bad night.
Fucked up like that.
Yeah, because I don't
Bro.
really do that no more. Like,
Bro, I had to get
I
his-
can,
I don't wanna
I
see
can
you like
handle, I can handle my liquor a lot better these days. Call it maybe because I've had so many years of drinking
Of experience.
that I can definitely control it better these
Well,
days.
you know,
Right.
there's a scientific reason behind that. When you get older, your liver gets more used to it. So you would have to drink more.
Or I just don't have a
Chew
liver.
There's a
again.
little bit more, AKA there's more wear and tear. And your liver's not working as well, so it can handle more.
I put a lot of miles in
Because
this
it's
son
like-
bitch
it's
in
like-
31
it's
years.
like, I don't
so.
even feel it no more,
Nah,
bro.
exactly.
Put some real, put some real shit in me, bro.
All right, baby, here we go.
I mean,
Nope.
and I've had
Food's
my,
gonna slow it down.
I've had my stories. Jimmy's helped me out, or there's been times where I just slept on a person's porch somehow. But
There
We
have
have
been a few
video, or
times.
not video, but we
Well,
have
no.
the picture.
well, no, that was a balcony.
different one. Oh,
but I remember being in my friend's house.
Was that like a wrestling party, like a pay-per-view thing, or
Yeah.
what night was that?
For what?
When you fell asleep in between the air conditioner and
It was just. I think that was just 4th of July fun. Bro.
was it something like that?
It was just
Okay.
4th of July fun at my boy Mike's house, bro. My best friend's house.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was because I know we did a couple of like pay-per-view parties over there in the past, and I couldn't remember at what point you did that. I mean, I've seen you fucked up at Christmas parties.
Yes.
You know where Bob's just disappeared, and I'm like, well, nobody else. is
Yes,
looking
in my
for him.
old age,
I
I
need to
am
go.
a little. Well, my thing is, I've always
Mind you, this was
been
like last year.
In my defense, I've always been like, if I'm at someone's house, if I'm safe, I don't have to worry about driving somewhere. There's somewhere for me to lay my head, even if it's my car. I don't care how fucked up I get. Like, it's free booze. Like, I'm the most responsible person. I don't have to give you my keys. I might give you my keys, but I know I'm not going to, like, let me see if I can get Sharpo in the tree. Like,
Now, I'm not bragging about this at all. And I'm not condoning my actions at all. But I will be honest, because I don't give a fuck. I have not been that responsible. Almost every time I've been really fucked up, if you're not around me to take my keys, I'm driving home. Like, because I don't want to be where I'm at anymore. I'm not staying at someone's house. I don't want to be anywhere. I want to go the fuck home. And I know 1,000% the risks that are involved in that and how stupid that is, because I could kill myself. I could kill other people. I could, who knows what could happen. Or simply I could get arrested and get a fucking DUI and have that on my... I mean, I get it. I know the fucking risks that are involved in doing that. But at the time, I can't change what I've done.
You're overly confident.
And I don't mind saying it now. I've been at parties where I'm so fucked up and I'll sit in my car for a bit. Like, I remember one house party I was at in Jacksonville, and I was so banged up. Oh my God, I was drunk, and my friends had gotten kicked out because my one friend, Dawn, she got real banged up. She threw up and fell down the fucking steps of the basement and threw up all over herself again. So she got kicked out. So it was a bad deal.
Just a mess.
The party was in the basement, and we're at someone's house, and she has a handle of Jägermeister, and she's like, Jimmy! I swear to God. Then she goes, and she kind of throws up a little bit. Then she takes one step and just tumbles down and lands on the thing, and just vomit just comes out of her mouth. And then it was some weird shit. So I sat in my car that night and I listened to Cradle of Filth for about an hour till about 5 a.m. And I was like, you know what? I'm not getting any sober, like any more sober than I am now.
Right,
I'm driving the fuck home. So so more often than not, I have gotten behind the wheel when I shouldn't have. But kids, people, everyone, don't do that.
Please don't do that, guys.
There's Uber these days. We didn't have Uber back then. There's Uber these days. Call an Uber.
Oh, we had cabs, though.
But yeah, I mean,
Uber or not. Uber or not.
Yeah, but Uber's so much easier and
No,
more
I'm
readily
just,
available these
but
days.
you made it seem like you had no choice.
You know what I mean. I'm not literally
was
making it
overly
seem like you don't have
confident,
no
is what he's
choice.
saying.
I was a shithead back in the day, and I made some choices that thank fuck that I'm okay and everybody's okay. I never had any issues, but
I never had a problem sleeping on a motherfucker's couch.
Yeah.
Or a floor if I had to. I've woken
There
up
you go.
plenty of floors and couches and at the crack of dawn and took my ass home and had a productive day after that.
There you go.
well, that's
All
all,
right,
you can
guys.
ask for.
That was over 2 hours. We had a marathon today, and we did not plan any of this conversation.
And we also what we did plan was to wrap it up shorter.
Yep.
Because
but,
some of us had to be up really early.
But you know what?
So
For a good. But then what
it was
did
good.
I say?
It was
what did I say?
content. Make show first.
More important, a good show,
show.
dude. A good show. And I had a fucking blast. I think this was great. I hope that you guys had fun. I hope that you guys are enjoying this. We're gonna be back at you tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Anybody else got any wrapping up words before we roll?
Thank you for joining us. I'm sleepy too, my damn self.
I think we're all a little brain drained. So
If you guys want to, just make sure you follow us. Go over to YouTube. Follow Paul Jordane. Follow Spitting Venom Radio. You're at Endgame Jordane at most of your handles, right? And I'm at Jimmy_Sinndred. It's on the screen there, I believe. And then you got
melodramatic plastic.
I'm in
Y'all see it up
melodramatic
top.
plastic. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, man.
And
YouTube
also-
and the Facebook, share our shit.
share it. Yeah, sharing goes a long way too, guys.
Sharing
Like,
is caring, guys.
sharing is caring. If
need
you
more followers.
If we entertain you, we might entertain the people you know as well.
I love how the lighting's fixed. All right, the outro music is on, and love you guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.